Pharma, one of 13 drug makers named in a lawsuit claiming the firm...
Here's my Google search string. Italian courts dismiss rape because woman was ugly. Boom.
Yes, it happens.
Right here. 3 female judges in an appeals court in Italy overturned a 2015 rape conviction, in part because the victim in question was deemed too ugly to have been raped. The alleged victim, then 20 years old, was not found to be a credible rape victim because she was too unattractive and masculine, according to the 3 female judges.
In Italy, they threw out a rape because they said the woman was too ugly to be raped.
All bullshit.
I'm not kidding. Right here. 3 female judges made that conclusion.
That's got to be fugly.
No, that's got to be a fucked up judge.
3
judge panel.
And the guy was good looking, they said.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
They didn't throw any pictures up here, but apparently.
I was told that has nothing to do with attracting.
Right.
Well, we brought that up because he said, did you hear what Barbara Streisand said? And I said, no. Streisand basically said something to the effect that the kids that Michael Jackson raped are fine, and Michael Jackson just had his sexual needs. And I'm like, that's just absurd. And that's almost like these judges finding that the woman was too ugly to be raped, or something along those lines. You know?
Excuse me while I yank my thingy.
Don't yank your thingy on my account.
Yeah, not with us present.
All right. Hey, listen, I know Louis C.K.
Oh, that's another one of his career ruined. Do you know how many people have had their careers ruined because of their dicks?
Yeah. I mean, not Ron Jeremy, but yeah, other guys. Ron's the opposite, right? Porn star.
Oh.
So,
Don't even go there.
he got work because of it, yeah.
Jeremy.
Proves what real chicken tastes like. Visit redbirdfarms.com or visit King Super, Safeway, or City Market.
See that?
Egress window can put an egress window in for you or rebuild the one you have. Those window wells with an escape window.
And that one in Italy never got kicked up to a higher court.
That wasn't an appeals court. That was a 3-judge appeals panel. They overturned the conviction, and
they do beautiful work. You can find out by
it'd be like the Court of Appeals in Colorado.
I'm embarrassed about that. I'm glad it was not men doing it, it was a woman doing it, but that's embarrassing to the, well, I'm not Italy. Mom should be embarrassed. She's a town.
96% now that I find.
Oh, really? Is that what you're? What's the other 4?
You know what's really weird? 4% Baltic and Greek and Asian, but, you know, my parents were both from Italy. But my sister and brother got results back saying 85%. How is that possible?
What was the postman?
You can use that equity to pay off you model your home or build your savings account.
Get one on him. My wife's family couldn't be any more like old Russian lineage, you know, and probably a Russian Jew that escaped back in the day. She's not Jewish. Her family hasn't been Jewish for 2 or 3 generations, but probably that's where she came from. They both did those 23andMe things, and my wife came back with like Great Britain and all this crazy stuff. There's just almost no way to rationally explain where or how she could have had that lineage and what she knows of her family history. You know, so sometimes I wonder if those averages just are averages and they really don't.
Let's talk.
You know, find things with specificity.
So all of a sudden, Jussie Smollett, did you hear that? His charges were all dropped.
What does that mean? They just didn't want to prosecute.
And they sealed his case.
What is that?
They dumped the whole damn thing.
They didn't
Wipe
want
the slate clean.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. What's on your mind? How can we help you? I ask this question every day going on, well, including other states, over 40 years. In Denver, nearly 40 years, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. If you're just tuning in, we're wondering, what the hell is this all about? We solve problems for people. We solve consumer problems. So if someone lied to you, cheated you, ripped you off, you have somewhere to call. And that's anywhere in the country you can call from. Of course, we're live out of our flagship in Denver. We have our affiliates, and we have also live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, and live on, and then, of course, we have our podcasts. So listen, we love solving problems, but sometimes just warning people about stuff helps. So we have no idea how many people we help by just people listening saying, I'm not going to make that mistake. And that's really part of the show, too. So I'm hoping you have fun. You can call us 24/7 at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. You drop a dime, leave a message. We will get back to you if you want us to. So let's talk. John Fuller's with us today from the Referral List, referralist.com. He's a personal injury attorney. We have people in from the Referral List almost every day, and we also have common men from time to time. If you want to be in on the show and just visit, let us know. And while we're here, you can call 303-MARTINO, but you can also call 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Mike. Mike, let's talk about what's going on with you. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Tom.
What's happening, sir?
A few weeks ago, Lakewood Police Department was pursuing a active shooter. I don't know if you saw it on the news.
Yes. So Lakewood was pursuing an active shooter, and what happened?
He was shooting out of his car at houses.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
They shot him.
Yes.
And then he passed out, stepped on the gas with his foot, ran through my yard, through my trees, through my fence, through my backyard,
yes,
through more trees, and into the backyard of the neighbor behind me.
John Fuller, Fuller Law, you deal in liability and negligence all the time, and I'm going to take a stab at this as an amateur and say there's no negligence here on anyone's part. What do you think?
Yeah, well, there probably was on the part of the dead guy that was running from the police. He certainly was negligent, but it's not really a negligence case. I mean, the guy is dead. There's probably no coverage. I don't know if he was in his own car or one that he stole. I think he may have stolen one. You know, the issue really comes down to, can the police be held liable for their negligence during a chase? And
do you think so?
We've actually had cases in Colorado where that issue has been decided, and for the most part, unless it's gross negligence, the answer is no. They can't be held because they are dispatching their duty. Well, it's a combination of governmental immunity, which is our favorite go-to from any of the municipalities, but it's also just the idea that simple negligence isn't enough. That's all part of them being involved in a chase and stuff. It would take gross negligence or some intentional act that's over and above simple negligence to be held liable. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law guest today. Listen, whenever anything happens, Mike, we have what I call the search for deep pockets, or the search for responsibility, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. So in many cases, we have no one responsible, really. We have I remember a case where a guy had a heart attack and killed a guy on a motorcycle in an intersection. The insurance company for the driver that had the heart attack said, we're not covering this. There was no negligence. He had a heart attack. And he said, that's not our fault. That's not his fault. What do you think, John? Well, those cases come up from time to time. And would you go after the heart attacks insurance? I think so. You kind of have to question their duty to know, their health situation. We have people sometimes that have seizures and stuff that shouldn't be out driving, and they know that they've had seizures, and they choose to drive. So there's always more to the story that can be looked into, but medical emergencies are a defense, in a case like that, so there may be some where there's nothing you could do, and there'd be no coverage, but it certainly warrants looking into really hard. So let's talk about your case now, Mike. You have a case where the guy was shot, he bowled over, he went over and rolled into your place. So your first initial reaction is what, Mike? What is your first hunch? Who did you want to go after? And I understand no one did this intentionally, but who would you want to go after?
Oh, I'm just going to have my insurance cover.
Right. But what were you thinking?
I just want to make sure I get good people off your list for landscaping and fence work. That's the reason I called.
Okay. We will help you, but this is a good story about liability. That's why I wanted to bring it up. But, yeah. Mike, did the police talk about any victim compensation fund?
Yes. Yeah,
good.
They sent over
good.
Parks and Rec to clean up the mess and fortify everything. And then my insurance company is going to come and take a look at it and see what they can do.
Yeah, good.
No, the city of Lakewood's been very good.
Great. Great. Now, as far as getting your stuff fixed, we have people on the referral list. Fencing is one of our most difficult categories ever. While Genesis Total Exterior says we do fencing, and they do have some people, and they might be able to find someone, the sad matter is, who do we have, Mark, really?
We have America Fence, which I find an odd name, but yes, we have them.
And they do a good job.
It should be American Fence.
Yeah, America Fence. They do a good job. But fencing is a difficult category for sure. And be forewarned, there are a lot of clowns in that industry.
Elkhart Fence?
Elkhart, yeah, they're a clown. Just don't ever recommend them. Dan was joking.
We just got another one that...
Elkhart is a long-standing name in town that used to mean something. They suck.
Horrid.
They are the most terrible company.
I think they're out of business, so I think it's irrelevant at this point. I think
anyway,
they're gone.
So, Mike, in addition to fencing, what do you need?
Landscaping work. We looked at Mr. Green Jean.
He's a great guy. Is he too busy?
No, we haven't had a quote yet.
Mr. Green Jeans is the bomb. He's a great guy. We also have some others. But let us know what happens or if you need help on anything. Chris, what's happening? Hold on a sec. So, Chris, go ahead. What's happening, Chris?
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, this is the guy with that Sherlock Holmes. I talked to, what was his name? Jim's the owner?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is where, with Sherlock Holmes, the guy was very upset. Let me find it here. And it's Jim Matthews and Yoder, and you said you have a manufactured home with a lot of problems. You just want it fixed.
Yes, sir. And we're not the only ones. We actually talked to another person whose house he built a few months after ours, and they're having the exact same problems of them not coming back, them not finishing.
Mark, did you contact them?
Yeah, we talked. He called me back. I left a message.
Well, that's a good sign to begin with. First of all, we even get a call back.
He's an interesting cat, but
yes, sir.
I don't understand one thing. Why did you sue him for $225,000? And why would you spend?
Wait, how much?
He's suing him for $225,000. Here's the stuff I don't understand. One, you said there's a problem with your foundation, right?
Yes, correct.
And you spent $26,000 from a letter from an engineer.
No, we had a structural engineer come out and put a repair plan together, an actual repair plan.
And that would cost $26,000
to fix it, right?
What's the $26,000?
The $26,000 is our structural engineer fee for the structural engineer to come out.
Way too much.
Figure out what's wrong with the house.
It doesn't make sense.
That was, you got ripped. You got ripped.
But that's why when he was sitting in arbitration with this guy, or mediation, whatever they agreed to, the guy's like, you got to pay us $26,000 for this letter. And he's saying, there is no way I'm spending $26,000 on this letter. I'm just telling you what he said. I wasn't there, man.
It's not just a letter. It's an actual repair plan, an actual stamp.
I understand that, but $26,000 is outrageous. I'm telling you that for a small home. You mentioned you had a small prefab home, and you got ripped off.
And aren't they on jacks? He's also saying that if it's not level, the way these structures are built, they're literally on jacks. It can be adjusted.
That's what I said. They're on jack stands and caissons, correct.
He's saying he could have went out there for, a lot less than any of this and got that thing straight, but you wouldn't allow him on the property.
But Chris, listen, man. Chris, we don't doubt that Chris has a problem. Here's the problem with the problem, Chris.
We gave him multiple chances to
just
fix it.
Because you spent $26,000 on a letter doesn't mean he owes you $26,000. Okay?
We were advised by the lawyer to hire a structural engineer to fix the house.
Chris,
so that's why we hired a structural engineer.
You should hire a structural engineer to come up with a plan for sure.
He spent $80,000 on the house.
Did he already? Is it fixed for $80,000?
No. I'm saying he bought the house brand new for $80,000, right, man?
No, everything was $275,000.
Okay, he told me $80,000. He must have been talking just the house.
Chris,
then.
I just want to get to the point, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter what you spend. It doesn't matter what your attorney says. What matters is what the damages are. John Fuller, can you explain what I mean by that? The damages versus what he spent.
Yeah, so the measure of damages is what's going to make you whole in this case, and that's going to be what it would take to basically restore that to a habitable
But just because
level.
he spent 50 grand or 25 grand or whatever on a letter doesn't mean that guy owes him 25 grand, does it?
It may, yeah.
It may.
It would be a taxable expense if you went all the way to trial.
But if it was reasonable, if it's not reasonable, he shouldn't have to pay it.
Well, a judge can decide that, but experts are expensive. We spend that kind of money on experts all the time.
Yeah,
so.
but okay. All right. Anyway, here's the deal.
Well, here's the other.
Here's the deal. We're out of time. I'm going to come back to you. I want to know, bottom line, where'd you come up with a $225,000 lawsuit? And if you filed a lawsuit, what do you want us to do?
Now, the guy, I will say, is this. He's weird. He goes, I hate the way our courts are now. He goes, you realize my dentist fired a Mexican woman, and she sued him and got $80,000. That's what he tells me on the phone. John, I want to introduce somebody out here, though.
Oh, are you talking to Eric? Eric Blake. Yeah. So, and that was just...
It's not a big deal. I didn't pay that much more. I ended up paying a few pennies more, basically.
Yeah. So she's sending you an email with that. I'll take it. So I asked her to send
Thank
a
you for
breakdown.
finding that out.
Absolutely. I was going to say.
70. Right now, mostly cloudy and 55. Your traffic and weather. I'm D-Quag.
Oh, boy.
It's the final days of Ford Truck Month. Your last chance to get a great deal.
You see, they let Justice
Okay, guys. Mike's going on. All right, if you take nothing else away from this commercial, I want you to know the loan, my bank, my loan, my way is back, okay? So you can have my bank, my loan, myway.com. You can get that loan. And if you have a first you love because you have low interest, you can get a second and use my bank, my loan, myway.com. It's a great loan. It helps you pay down your loan faster. It gives you credit for every penny in the bank. Please find out more. My bank, my loan, myway.com, 720-931-6560.
Advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management.
You see, Mark, they let Justice Smollett off.
But why do you think? That's what I don't understand. He's saying, I'm vindicated and all that.
I think it's because of Chicago.
He is
because he's black and he's in Chicago.
No, come on. They found something or something happened, man.
They just didn't want to.
Or maybe he's fucking insane. Maybe they said we're dealing with someone that's literally insane.
No, but the guy, they couldn't find one shred of evidence. Come on.
One shred. They had the two brothers came through and said they got paid for it, didn't they?
He said that they can't find him right
now.
now.
But what I'm
well, if the brothers disappeared and there's no more witnesses.
I think Jesse went and paid them off again.
No, that's it, and they're gone. They don't even have citizenship, I didn't think.
He knows more.
Jeez, man, why'd you let these guys off, Dano? Man, I was fucking hurting last night.
I was too. Jumping on hot tub.
That fucking spill you took probably got you pretty good. Yeah, you hit my foot, man.
That's when you stuck it out.
Yeah, when I stuck it out.
Not pre-qualified, approved. All you need is 303-867.
No, I think it's good. I mean, maybe 6. But that last game, neither of us were moving around that great. I hit my stride. I tend to get a little bit of the second wind. Here's where I get killed. I get home, I sit in my recliner like this.
Where do you guys go to play?
Right down the road.
But where is it? What's the name?
South Suburban. But what place is it?
It's the rec center.
It's the rec center, but there's multiple rec
centers.
centers.
There's like a bunch of them. It's so cheap, man. They're the cheapest I've ever
really
seen.
Is cheap.
It's like $4.
Play racquetball. You can play all day if you want to.
I'll sit for a half hour, but then when I get up, I'm fucking, my legs hurt, everything hurts, man. And that drive home is brutal, dude. It is so far from my house.
Especially, did you grab something to eat?
Hey, they sealed the case. He's willing to move on. You know what they told him? you shut the hell up and we'll shut that. Let's just go our separate ways. I mean, it's a. Why is it a sealed case?
Can't you open those? Something to the press?
No.
Like I thought after 1 year, well, a year it's not going to matter anyhow. But.
Chicago.
You know
Now, will feds go after them? If they don't go after them, it's definitely a racial bias. For the fact that how many people send powdered substances to people and they get them all the time.
Granite supplies premier designer countertops and cabinets. A direct importer of stone, granite, and quartz, and other natural stone, and all solid surfaces. Visit their showroom in Golden. Get your wholesale.
But I think didn't John say something that they can't find the two brothers?
Cabinets, and you'll love the work they do.
I heard that what bantered about, but I don't know who actually said. I don't know if that's true.
It takes just 1 week for installation, serving Denver Metro and the mountain communities. And when you have the kitchen done, they do the bathroom free. And they tear out and haul away everything free. Artofgranite.net. 303-386-5919. That's 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net. Also on my referral list at referrallist.com.
He's really into politics.
They happen to think politics is the most important.
Keeping it honest,
A little bit of corruption there.
and pointing out his flaws.
Here's the email. Look, you liar.
John Hayden, today at 1 on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We're consumer advocates here fighting for you each and every day, recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. No matter where you're listening from or watching from, you can contact us at 303-MARTINO. No one doubts Chris had a problem with Sherlock Holmes. That's the name of the place that builds homes, Jim Matthews. Damages are damages, okay? They're either realistic or not. And as John Fuller, our attorney, says, the judge decides what's realistic, what's not. I'm not sure what Chris wanted. Now, he was upset that this guy's still building homes, and he wanted to warn people, so we're doing that, if it's due warning. But I don't know, Mark. What was your impression of the guy, first of all, Jim Matthews? You get a good gut feeling. Is the guy legit? Is he a normal home builder and they have problems, or do you feel the guy's just completely out of touch with reality? What do you think about him, first of all?
He's built a lot of homes. I have a feeling he's had some issues. I think he's having issues with this one. I think his back was up when it's 225. He doesn't know.
Yeah. How do you have a full... I don't know. I need to know this, Chris. I need to know every dime you would write to Sherlock Holmes. Not what it cost you for a foundation, excavation, installation, but Sherlock Holmes only. How much did you spend with them total?
As far as buying our house?
No, not as far as buying your house. As far as every single dime you spent with them directly.
I haven't spent any with them besides buying the house.
How much was that?
$275.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of money. So the house was $275, and that was supposed to be a turnkey package, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how did you come up with your lawsuit amount for $225? You and your attorney. How'd you come up with that?
112 of it was from Peak Structural, or right around 112 of it was from Peak Structural to fix the grading, leveling, and the foundation of the house.
Okay.
And then the rest of it was to fix the whole interior doors, windows,
okay. Gotcha.
All the drywall, all the texturing, all the painting.
Does that sound reasonable? Because you can buy the whole house for $275. So for $50,000 more, you get a whole new house. Do those damages even sound reasonable?
Well, it costs more to repair than it is to put brand new.
Why can't he just jack it up on those jacks and make it level? I don't understand.
However they need to do it. I mean,
Chris is willing to drop the suit if they'll do it.
He's willing to go out there and level it. I talked to him yesterday. He said,
but he has to do more than leveling.
He said this guy won't allow him to go out there and fix it.
He has to do more than leveling, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know the whole list.
And I gave him multiple times to come out and fix it. He was even out there with his attorney, and he was telling me with my attorney and his attorney, oh, I'll send my drywall guy back. And he never sent anyone back. Even with our attorneys there, he never sent anyone back. His drywaller ended up calling me 3, 4, 5 months later after the fact, and came out after we filed all the paperwork.
Right now, where are you?
Did he do anything when he came out?
And we're not the only ones that have this problem. I can have other customers.
Well, it doesn't matter. And by the way, Chris, that doesn't matter as far as your lawsuit.
Actually, it's worse for you. If he has a ton of people coming after him, he's going to have nothing.
Yeah. What did your attorney say that? What did your attorney say about the reality about collecting? What did he say?
He thinks it's possible because since he's a sole proprietor of his LLC, we're getting an asset tracer, and I mean, he's
you mentioned that now 3 times, the asset tracer. Do you understand that if he's a trillionaire, it doesn't matter if you can't pierce the corporate veil? Okay, so tell me the basis on piercing the corporate veil. There has to be more to it than he's a sole proprietor. So what's the basis?
You know, I don't know. The lawyer's handling all that, and he seems confident in it. So I have my trust in our lawyer.
Okay, good. Then you let me know how the case works out, because I'd love to follow this along. And you wanted to warn others, and we will. I mean, you know, it sounds like a mess. And he says he's willing to fix it, but what does your attorney figure this will take to sue the guy? How much?
Right about 50 grand.
Okay, but he thinks that you're going to collect that and more, right?
Yeah, not much, because originally we were going to let them fix the house. We were dropping everything, and I dropped everything down.
And that's very reasonable. Very reasonable.
To 38,000, and that was just to cover the lawyer fees. Part of the lawyer fees.
I understand. Listen, Chris, you sound very reasonable.
He's just in deep.
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that I don't think it's I think it's a big gamble is what I'm saying. I don't think the guy has I just don't think the guy has any money, and I think he can bankrupt out of it. Again, you got to go with what your attorney says, but I would just be very suspect. I would ask my attorney, if you're so sure about it, would you take it on contingency? Ask him. 303-713-TALK. Liz needs a foundation repair. Mark, who do we have now? Help me in this category for foundation repair.
Oh, we've got a great one. Let me pull him up. In fact, I just talked to him last week.
Let's talk about your foundation. You know what I'd like to do? Maybe we can get him on the air just to talk about it. What kind of a home is this, Liz?
It's my parents' home.
Yes, Liz.
They're in their mid-80s and they're ill, so I'm trying to handle everything.
And how bad
them.
Is it?
It's considered major.
How do you know?
I hired Coyle Engineering off the referral
You know,
list.
yeah, Coyle, good people. And so, hold on a second. Let's find out what we can do about repair. Let's get the guy on. Let's just see if he can come on and talk to you. 303-713-TALK. Let's talk to Robert now. Robert, what's happening with Excalibur? What is Excalibur Exteriors, Robert?
They repair all kinds of damage from hail or
like
or whatever.
Like they do roofs?
They do roofs, and I used them.
Do they do siding? In other words, when you say they do all kinds, they do everything basically.
Fence, correct.
Can you just hire them to do? Can you hire them to do anything like, or is it only for hail and storm damage, sir?
No, I think you can hire them for anything.
Okay, so what's the problem with them, sir?
Well, the problem is, first I need to step back
a
bit. I used them a couple years ago.
Okay.
And they did fine with it. And then I hired them at the last storm that we had was back in June, I think, of last year.
Okay.
Maybe.
And did you pay them?
Yes, I gave him $12,000 up front because he said he needed it for materials. And they did good work for me before.
I understand.
So I went ahead and wrote the check.
Okay, then what happened?
All they did was send out a painter so far and do the fence. They repainted all the interior of the fence.
So far, that's all?
That's all they've done. And they were supposed to do the roof, the gutters, the doors, my lighting fixtures, screens.
What do they say about this?
He won't even answer my calls.
Oh, no.
He won't call me back.
Golly. So you haven't talked to him since when? When's the last time you had contact?
I think it was an email that he sent me. Said that there was a problem in the family and he'd call me when he could get back to me.
Yeah, what's the problem in the family?
I called the Lockbuoy police because that's who handles the small town I live in. I live in Keensburg, Colorado.
Okay.
And the police called him.
Oh, that's you know what? That's pretty nice of them. They called him and said we got a complaint, and what happened?
And Troy at Excalibur said that he had every intention of doing all the work. Well, this has been since June is when I paid him.
You know, this is a common story. We need to call him. I don't know what else to say. Do you have a contract?
Yes, I do, but I can't get around to find where it is right now and what it says. It does not have any kind of a time limit to finish it.
I understand. What was the total price going to be?
I think it was like $19,000.
Did you get how much worth of work did you get?
I don't know what the fence cost. Probably less than $1,000.
Oh man, hold on and let's try to get a hold of him. The name of the company is Excalibur Exteriors, and the guy is Troy. What's Troy's last name?
I do not know.
Okay, people, I have some ideas for you. First of all, no money up front like this for nothing. He already did it. Let's see what we can do for him. Has anyone heard of Excalibur Exteriors? Can you give us some information if you have? This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. What a contrast to the world today, huh? Frank Duran you can depend on like a rock. This guy is there. He's solid advice. He's done so many deals for me. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
This is Denver's.
Chicago police are furious over this and think Kim Fox,
I bet they are.
the AG, is in on this.
What is?
Kim Fox is the AG for
Smollett thing.
Why do you think he's in on it?
They said that's what the police. That's what Fox said. The police say that Kim Fox, the AG, is in on letting him dropping the charges.
What do you think the deal is?
I think try to keep Chicago from getting a bad name.
But God knows their reputation is pure as the driven snow now.
Again, another stretch to avoid. The rest of the drive across town in fairly decent shape. The weather forecast, it's going to be sunny today.
20 seconds, Simply Floors, 30 spot. 20 seconds.
2. Right now, mostly cloudy and 55. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30, How.
Hi, I'm Mike. Some days, even I might feel blue. So I turn to Blue English. Blue English, non-greasy, deep penetrating.
Turning the mic on. Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. That's the website, simplyfloorsinc.com, and you'll save a ton of money. Buddy Mitchell, here's what he does. He's part of a buying group. He buys this stuff really cheap. In fact, better pricing than some of these big box stores, and then he passes the savings on. He gives you the best in installation, the best in design services, and he does it all for less. You'll save 20, 30, 40, sometimes up to 50%. 303-456-4660. He's at 52nd and Ward, the southwest corner, simplyfloorsinc.com.
And an absolutely crazy.
Keep that mic off for a minute.
It's certainly been an
Interesting year for the economy, right? But if you think about it, the only thing you need to be concerned about is what happens in your personal economy. So how has that changed in the past year? Maybe it's time to talk with Brad Jenkins and the team at Jenkins Wealth Management Group, one of our sponsors here on KHOW. As certified financial planner professionals, they can help you build a retirement income plan that will help protect your personal economy. Call 720-457-6844. Mention my name, Dan Kaplis, and that review will be complimentary for you.
This is a paid advertisement. Jenkins Wealth Management Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, such as insurance and annuities. Insurance licensed in Colorado.
Hello, I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. I've recovered millions of dollars for consumers for all types of consumer problems. But when it comes to tax problems and the IRS, I call on my...
Oh, I tried that guy twice. Telephone and texted him.
I just left it. Let's give him 10 minutes. Tell her we just really want to get him on, but make sure we have her info. Because he's the one that can fix it. That's it. He's the best.
What happened with your roofing company? I heard you talking about they were lying to you or something. I heard the phone call.
All those guys are fucking idiots. You know what they told me? They basically said they had a fiduciary duty to the insurance company. Yeah. I think they got it settled last night because the caller went black. He had a meeting with them last night at 5:30. They wanted him to call the dogs off, and I'm assuming they probably wrote him a check and had him sign something saying that's it, it's done. Right. I couldn't believe those idiots came on. It was the dumbest I have never heard tap dancing like that was so stupid in my life, John.
Well, I didn't hear him say that it was an insurance check in the first place. I didn't, they were talking all this fiduciary shit, which was horseshit.
He wrote them the check directly out of his bank
There's
account.
no fiduciary anything.
Nothing.
Right.
I couldn't believe this guy was lying this bad. I couldn't figure out if he was a moron or if he's literally a lying moron. I didn't know which one.
A moron or a lying moron, yeah.
Right.
When I had my brother take me places, it was always like, we have to
I
get
did
there
ask
early.
him numerous times. He wouldn't respond. I told him too. I said, this is a good thing for companies listening. Don't have your moron employee call up the show and he's gonna lie.
Before dinner, after dinner.
Hey, Bill, it's Mark Major. How are you, man? I'm trying to get a hold of this American Fence for you. You really left them 2 or 3 messages, huh?
I decided I needed to find an alternative. So I started looking, and then Jewel came up. I did both.
That's what I wanted to clarify. Did you do it through there, or did you actually call them?
I honestly feel like I remember recently you asking me, like, did you want to smoke before we go in? And I was like, no, I don't need to.
Mimi made the switch July 2015. Got it. Make the switch at jewel.com. That's J.
It left the message and never got a call back.
Warning.
I know he's running around going crazy, but that's no excuse not to give a call back. So anyhow, I want to get in touch with him.
That's why I visit Downtown's Healthcare, physical medicine, chiropractic rehab, and massage.
No, I know that, but I understand. He might have to hire someone. You can get a virtual assistant for next to nothing now that can keep track of all this. But anyhow, I just wanted to clarify that before I called him. Thank you. I'll email you back.
Ask Alexa to play 630 KHOW on.
Got it. Thanks. Bye, Bill.
Then you can hear a Fox News update on the hour.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
If Denver's talking about it, you'll hear.
Did you actually hear that dude on the air? Was he not a moron?
Oh, I love it when people start talking about their attorneys and blah, blah, blah. And, our attorneys are advising us.
I'm Tom Martino, your troublemaker. If you're ripping people off, that's what we do. Make trouble. Okay, so who's on our radar? Sherlock Holmes, good or bad? I'd like some experiences. Sounds like a terrible, terrible thing. I would hate to judge people by one case and one case alone. Like Jussie Smollett. I mean, he's only been beaten up and attacked once. We can't judge his entire life by that report, right? They dropped all the charges. Looks like yesterday was a day for crooks to get off the hook. 303-713-TALK. Yes, Suzanne?
Well, we have another Sherlock Holmes problem on line 1, Tom.
Ooh, that's one for the books. Let's go to it. Now, Excalibur Exteriors. I want to get them on the phone, Suzanne. Excalibur Exteriors in Troy. I mean, 12 grand up front, he just painted the inside of a fence. That's it. Come on now. Let's figure out what's going on. Give them a say. Okay, we have another Sherlock Holmes. Uh-oh, Lewis. Is yours similar to Chris? Chris was saying that his home is basically poor quality and properly installed. A lot of problems. What about you, Lewis?
Same exact scenario. Moved over from Florida to Colorado.
Now, Lewis, are you in Yoder? Yes. Are you in Yoder?
Yes. Yes, Yoder, Colorado.
Yeah, he is. That seems to be where his latest set of problems are. Lewis, where'd you move from? Where in Florida?
I was in Miami.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, complete change.
Yeah, it's culture shock. How do you go from Miami to Yoder?
Well, funny enough, I found out that Yoder is technically Yoder, Miami, so it's still Miami.
You mean, are there a lot of people from Florida there?
Well, no, not that much. The one of the hugest reasons why I moved out there is because my brother, he lives out in Yoder, and I'm his neighbor.
Okay.
So I saw there was an opportunity to be my brother's neighbor. Why not?
Did he do Excalibur?
Well, he purchased a home.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sherlock. I'm sorry. I meant Sherlock. Did he do Sherlock Holmes?
No, but I know that the people that he purchased the house from, I think they did originally do it with Sherlock, or at least had work done by Sherlock.
Okay. And what is going on with your home? Tell me in a nutshell.
My home, in a nutshell, it wasn't built the way it was supposed to be built.
Is it a champion home? Is it a champion home? But you don't think it's the manufacturing process? You think it's the way Sherlock Holmes handled it?
I think, with all due respect, it was a half-assed job.
Yep.
Just based off of everything, the house is only a year old. I have half the roof missing. All of the shingles flew out because they were nailed in. And I'm not a construction worker or anything, but I know that that's not how you install a roof. You don't nail the roof on.
You know what?
I've never heard of that.
They face nailed it, didn't they? In other words, the other guy said. Okay. Anyway, what does the builder say to you when you talk to him?
When I called, because we started having issues with the roof a couple of months ago, and I wanted to take advantage that I still had the warranty.
Is the roof the only problem, by the way? Quickly, is the roof the only problem?
Yeah. No, the roof's issue, the ground itself, it seems like my house is sinking in.
Yep, same with this other guy, man. The foundation's wrong, the roof's wrong. It does sound like the same exact scenario. Have you talked to this other guy?
I haven't even talked to him, but when I heard that whole scenario, it was like, that's me. That's what's happening to me.
We ought to put them in touch with each other, Suzanne, and maybe we can, maybe his attorney, I mean, maybe they might be able to put together a case here, but John, under what circumstances? John Fuller's a personal injury attorney. He knows a lot about collection of injuries because that's what he does, damages. But John, I want to ask you something. Even though this has to do with house building, it's still collection. What prevents someone from doing a bankruptcy in a case like this? Wouldn't you have to prove fraud to keep them from going bankrupt? It's very difficult, isn't it?
It is. Yep, you're exactly right. The opportunity for a small business like that, particularly one that maybe even just running as a sole proprietorship or something, they can just run to the bankruptcy court and avoid a lot of liability here.
Can they go before, or in other words, and then claim everything before this, or do they have to wait for a judgment or an action against them?
No, they can go. They can
go on the threat.
File right now
on the threat.
Yeah, and the automatic stay goes into effect as of the date of the filing. Anything that could be filed in the future is shut down and foreclosed at that moment, and anything that had been filed before is automatically stopped. So, yeah, it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah, that's the problem, Lewis. If this guy, if you try to go after him, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but remember, you can always do a bankruptcy. I want to get your information, though, and collect it along with the other guy, because if we come up with a number of different people, I don't know. I mean, we got to do something about this.
So, Tom, wouldn't these manufactured homes...
That's why I called. That's exactly why I called.
All right.
Because you know what? To me, it just didn't seem right. All these excuses and the way things were done.
Okay. You hold on. Then we'll put you on this list. Suzanne, when you get a chance, just put him on our list for that home builder. What were you going to say, John?
On these manufactured homes, is this builder per se just the guy that seams them together on the lot? I mean,
that's what it sounds like.
Is there not a warranty from that builder that might have some?
Well, there's a warranty from Champion,
right?
But Champion simply says if it wasn't done right, it's not our responsibility.
Right. So that's my question: is did they roof it on site or did they just seam it together?
They roofed. It looks like they roofed it on site. Okay. That's what it's sounding like. I'm not sure if they are halves or how they're done, but I know that. Let me ask Lewis here quickly. Lewis, does it come in two halves?
Yes, it does. And then but I know that the way it was done wasn't right because, again, 6 months into it, I had pieces flying off.
I get you. We're going to get you on the list. Karen, you have a follow-up for us. What's going on, Karen?
Well, I was starting to have problems. It was over a month of trying to get a phone transported from one Vonage to Total Wireless.
Now, hold on. You have a Vonage cell phone?
No, I had a Vonage home phone.
Okay, right. That's a broadband phone, and you tried to get it ported over to another company?
Yes, and they said, it's going to take maybe 4 days because it was a landline, basically, to a cell phone, which I was like, okay, that's fine. But it ended up
and when you say ported over, you simply wanted to keep the number?
Yes, I wanted to keep the number, yes.
Okay.
And so it ended up going back and forth. And then I'd call them after 4 days. Nope. So Vonage is doing something. Vonage won't release a number. Oh, Total Wireless, they're idiots. They don't know what they're doing.
Who did it turn out to? Who did it? I know that Daphne helped you. Who did it turn out to be?
Well, a little bit of both, actually, but mostly I think started out with Vonage. I don't think they wanted me to get released a number to begin with.
I know.
And they're.
I don't think Vonage actually owns that number, though. I mean, Vonage is just
no, but they have to release it, though.
Yeah, but and their customer service, as far as they just kind of tell you what they want you to hear.
I didn't even know Vonage was still around.
Yeah, they're not very good. I mean, their hold times. I've waited up to 2 hours on hold before.
I'm happy that this whole thing got solved. So now.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. I mean, it was really good because I was like, okay, I am going to call Tom.
I am so happy though that you did, and Daphne, I'm telling you, she's good at these tedious calls that need constant follow-up. God love her for it. She gets on there, and as I call her, a pit bull with lipstick because she doesn't let go. It's like she grabs onto that thing and then does it, and she
like
bugs
a pit bull looking for a bone.
No, here's the deal. She just doesn't let go, and these people say, God, get rid of this woman, you know, and then they, and Karen got her number ported.
Bulldog.
This report is...
What's it, Bulldog?
Yeah, Kalen Eccles, his fucking famous quote. Guy does a shitty job painting this house. Fucking Kalen Eccles.
He's just misunderstood, like Justice.
He's misunderstood. Here's the funny part. Watch this.
Jesse is claiming full vindication.
How do you spell Eccles?
If you would have full vindication, you would go after the city for a lawsuit, saying they tried them in court. I'll bet you the cops did something wrong.
You think she's still seeing him?
This one is still seeing him.
24/7. Here's Caleb Eccles guy, you know, the one that he's talking about.
He's still
Bulldog after bone.
She wouldn't let that go, that Bulldog.
I can't even.
Okay, Mike's going on. Fix It 24/7 will come to your home and clean and adjust your entire AC and furnace for just $68. That is a deal, trust me. They work in concert. If you haven't had it done, it's worth having done. It's like a whole refurbishing of the system. They take things apart to the extent they can, clean, adjust, safety check with a no breakdown guarantee. With the hot weather coming, do it. 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939.
Ladies man, that's right.
Cracker Jack in 20 seconds. Cracker Jack 30 spot.
Hey, I heard that ad that you did with the, like, how do you know if it's worth 20 or how do you know if it's worth 30 or something?
Yeah.
I thought that sounded really good.
Cool. Mike's going on. If you have concrete that's cracking, heaving, sinking, just basically giving you trouble, whether it's in a basement, a garage, a sidewalk, a patio, an apron, you can call one company to get it estimated free of charge, and you may not have to replace it. They can repair it. CrackerjackMudjacking.com, and you'll get their website, or call them. 303-410-7787, in business for 20 years with 60,000 jobs completed. 303-410-7787, crackerjackmudjacking.com.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages?
We should do a, we need to do a flashback.
What do you mean? Award-winning technology gets you speaking right away. Whether you're learning Spanish,
These chairs are just shit. This one is
Dude, it's absolutely unbelievable. You should have seen the one we had in here. It's gone now. It's still in this building. It looked like someone shit and pissed on it.
And then puked on the shit and pissed.
And then puked on it.
Right.
And they expected people to...
Every time I move, that one's going... creaking. And
We've done a couple of that.
Where's the mini chair? Oh, there's
You know
the
what?
mini chair.
This attorney Avenatti, oh,
He is a fucked up right now, let me tell you.
He's in big trouble, man.
His shit's not going to be dismissed like Jesse.
they don't like him.
No, they don't.
What do you mean? He almost ran for president. Democrats
And
loved him.
they're
They
not-
loved
They
him.
loved him. You notice how little they're carrying the story?
MSNBC had him on almost every day.
I think they said how many times he's on CNN.
He's on The View like 26 times or something, too.
On The View?
Oh, yeah. They loved him.
Oh, really?
They referred him for suborning perjury for putting up that last Kavanaugh witness that he said was gang raped and everything. That was Avenatti's client as well.
Oh,
Chuck Grassley,
you're right.
Chuck Grassley referred his ass for prosecution for suborning perjury. And I still think that one's liable to come down on him. So,
And that was in
the one in
Kavanaugh hearing.
Yeah, the one in New York I don't care as much about. The one in California where he literally dummied up a settlement document. It'd be like me saying, all right, Tom, I got your case settled. We're going to get paid on March 1st, okay? Just sign right here. We're all good. Come see me on the 1st of March, okay? That payment was actually wired in, $1.6 million on January 5th, and he took it.
When did he plan on paying it back?
Who knows? He probably thought he could pay it back before March 1st, but when March 1st got here, he didn't have the money, so he's like, Tom, I don't know what they're doing. They're not paying it. We got to fight them. They're going on. He eventually hires a new attorney who calls the people that were supposed to make the payment. They're like, dude, we paid it on January 5th.
Oh, my God. Now, being out of trust like
that's
that.
immediate disbarment. I mean, they will swoop in. Done.
When you're out of trust, that is like, there is no negotiation.
Over $1 million. I mean, not just like a little $5,000 car crash case. We're talking about
or a monthly
$1.6
bill. Or a
know?
monthly bill, taking advance.
Right. So that's his biggest immediate threat to his future livelihood. He's liable to go to jail in New York, but he's going to be without a law license in California here very quickly. If not today. Like, they don't fuck around with
Just
those.
still run for president, then he could be vindicated.
Yeah. That guy's a tool.
He's misunderstood.
Well, I think he's fucked up in the head.
Well, Stormy, as much as said there's more to come.
She did say that.
And it's
Well,
like,
wait
I
a
don't
minute.
want to
He
say
said he's
anything.
going to have complete vindication.
Well, of course he did. He's got the best attorney in the world, himself.
He needs to go to Chicago to get it there.
Jesse had, I think. Didn't Jesse had Mark Garagos?
It's Jesse.
That's what I said, Jesse.
Just. It was a bulldog begging for a vote.
Oh, he had a couple women. Attorneys, Lisa at the very end.
Best criminal defense attorney,
No, it's right here.
Johnny Cochran.
I think Jackie.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace, but my God, man, was he good.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's go to the phones. And Excalibur Exteriors, did we call them, Suzanne?
I did, Tom. I had to leave a message, which I believe is the owner's cell phone. I can't say for sure. And then at their office as well, I left a message.
Let's give them a chance to talk about this, okay? And figure out what they're doing with the 12 grand. I bring up the Contractors Trust Act. It is no small thing. The Contractors Trust Act. You take money from a consumer, like Excalibur took 12 grand, according to Robert, up front. That money should be in trust for that consumer. Or it could be a problem. Gina, welcome. Gina has a problem with the town of Granby, and I'm hoping she doesn't take a bulldozer to Main Street.
I won't. It's okay.
Well, by the way, that guy called us the day before he did that. Yep.
Oh, I forgot
about that. He called us, and we thought he was a little loony, but he was so pissed off with zoning and stuff. And
he made a tank, right?
Yeah, what a sad story that was. Don't
Yeah.
they have a little monument to him somewhere outside of town there? A lot of people thought, while they didn't agree with that, they thought that he was justified in his ire because they were so they say the town is a bunch of good old boys with terrible what do you call undue influence for some people and no influence for others? And anyway, I don't want to get into that. What's your problem with the Granby?
Perhaps that could be true.
What's going on?
So in October, my sewer came up in my basement. We tried to snake it, thinking it was just a little
Now,
clog.
is this a public system?
It is a public system, yes.
Okay, backup, right.
Okay, and so we tried it. We tried it again. It came up a second time, and then we got a camera down there, and we found out that the pipe had sheared off.
Where did it shear? In the service line?
It sheared off right where mine connects to the main.
Okay.
Right at the main.
Service line broke off the main, okay.
Right? 2 years ago, they had replaced water lines for a water system that's not the town of Granby water system. They had put in new water lines under there.
Who did?
It was
a private contractor. Hope it's
yes,
a private No, not a private I should say hope that it was a private company, not a private contractor, meaning was it for the town they were doing it?
Yes.
Then they're covered. They're covered by the Immunity Act if they're doing it as an agent of the town.
Yes.
So you probably found that out, right?
Well, it's been 6 months, and the town of Granby's Travelers Insurance Companies had it for like 3 months.
Yeah, but they're not going to pay. I mean, right. I've never heard of a city or county. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I've never heard of a city, county, or municipality of any kind, that means a village or a town, paying for damages due to their maintenance, repair, or expansion of their infrastructure. John, have you ever heard of them stepping up saying, oh, yeah, we'll take care of it? I mean, it's immunity is one of the, governmental immunity is a concept that you run up against all the time, right, John? Yep. I mean, does that mean that if a government vehicle runs into your client, they're screwed?
No.
What does it mean?
No, so...
With personal injury, what does government immunity mean? Then we'll go and extend it to property.
Okay, so the essence of the Colorado governmental immunity statute is that the default position is that the entity is going to be immune from any sort of prosecution unless it fits one of the 6 enumerated exceptions, okay? Those exceptions are long and complicated. We can't just go through them list by list, but car accidents are certainly one of them. So if you get hit by a car that's operating for a municipality of the state, certainly you're good to go.
Now let's see what the immunity does to you, and if you can go after this private contractor. We got to figure out what's going on. Hold on.
Is your garage door making... the cop's drunk, and they prove that he's drunk, and he hits you on duty drunk in his police car. Does that government immunity still, is it still a good shield?
No.
Okay, it's gone.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you something. We had a case.
Snowplow.
And that fucking that snowplow operator was so negligent. I think he was intoxicated, and they fucking didn't pay this guy. I can still think his name is Norcross, this guy. His life was totally fucked, and they didn't pay him a dime. Not a dime.
Did it injure him or just fuck up his car?
I think he was paralyzed. Oh, Jesus. Whatever it was, he couldn't walk.
I've got 2 cases right now, one against an FBI agent and one against a Denver cop that was in an undercover car, and I'm good.
But there was no alcohol.
No.
And in a high-speed chase, I mean, your guy's fucked. Not the guy getting chased. If the cop hits somebody else while chasing somebody.
Why would some cases be so egregious and they don't cover it? And they don't? Is it that the other attorney is not good? I mean, what?
You know, the cop one kind of makes sense because they're in a high-speed chase, you know, so are they entitled to a higher standard if they're out there trying to run down a bad guy, you know?
You would think so.
Our courts have...
A lower standard.
No, a higher standard, that saying there has to be gross negligence instead of just plain old negligence, you know?
I think in some municipalities they don't allow high-speed chases. They tell the cops to back off.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's hard. I mean, the biggest problem with these immunity cases, Tom, is that they don't just look at a list and say you're immune or you're not, okay? There's shades of gray, and the stakes are really high. Like, for a premises case, the stakes are fucking stupid high. You have to have almost a known, you know, actual knowledge of the dangerous condition for the public entity, or you're done. You can't just have knew or should have known like you would have for any other, you know, location. And the stakes are super high because if they invoke the immunity, and you've got to go and do a Trinity hearing, you've got to go all the way through discovery on just the notice provision alone. And if you lose, you and I can sue each other, and we don't ever have to pay each other's fees.
Yeah.
But in the context of these governmental immunity cases, if you lose, you get to pay not only the expenses, but all the fees for the other side.
Oh, shit.
So it gets ugly early, you know. I had a slammed up case on a school grounds where, you know, the night before the hearing, the defense counsel calls up and says, John, just want to let you know, we're at $36,000 in legal fees today, and that's before we start on our 5-day hearing. So who knows what it'll be by the time we're over with our hearing. But just want to let you know. But hey, you know, we would agree to just walk away and call it even right now with your client not paying anything. The client took that shit. The client's like, fuck, I ain't putting 40 grand on the table, you know, for
what do you think would have happened?
I think I would have lost. I know I would have lost.
So you
I didn't have the goods, and I couldn't prove actual knowledge. I mean, we did 7 depositions and everything, and the best I could get was, yeah, it was a dangerous condition, but we didn't know about it at the time.
Got it.
You know, and that's the way the premises laws work. For government, it ratchets it up 1 notch from knew or should have known to actual knowledge.
So they would have had to have numerous people fuck themselves up there and do nothing about it.
Even just one, you know, that was a solid claim that was submitted, and you know, even just one would have done it.
Zip.
No, the rest commercial.
Yeah. What was it on the playground that was bad?
It was on a sidewalk, and they had sanded or ice melted the parking lots with the commercial sprayer thing on the back of the truck, but they hadn't done anything on the sidewalks. And this lady hit it and did a compound fracture on her. I mean, bad.
So she fucked herself.
Yeah. It was
Still an ice on the...
My mom, about 10 years ago, goes out walking the dog, and she's on the sidewalk. They were in a cul-de-sac. Slips, breaks her fucking hip and shoulder. She didn't fucking sue anybody. Looking back on it.
This report is
I don't know who
sponsored
she
by
would've sued.
KFC.
There's premises and streets.
Well, the neighbor didn't have their sidewalk done. Like in Denver, when I owned the buildings there, fuck man, they would come by the fucking snow Nazis, and if my shit wasn't clear within a half hour, they'd fucking write you a ticket, man.
But even that, it's almost better to have snow on there than often in an ice forms on there. You can't shovel it perfectly clean.
Really?
What is this device up for delivery? Oh my God.
Is this that woman overcharged by $5 again? She's still, oh Jesus, she's...
Can you believe this? They brought out a loaner device yesterday, our printer. The new one's ready to be delivered today. For the life of me, I can't understand this.
Who wants the paperwork? Who wants Darcy?
Tell me what's going on with Darcy.
Well, you said if she had more questions, she could come back on today, and I said send the paperwork.
Was it an additional $5 that they got, or was it taken off of your claim?
Enjoy.
Fuck here, Mark.
There's a
26-page facts.
I got to work out today, but I have so many commercials.
I saw this come in, and I'm going, what nutball said this?
Jussie.
We had one show up one time down
for Jussie. Justice for Jussie. Justice for Jussie. Jussie.
I don't know why she sent this contract. I don't understand. Let me just ask her some questions. She doesn't. You don't ask the right questions. You're not asking anything relevant.
You didn't let her get her whole...
My favorite still. Blah, blah, blah. And this happened with my house and the contractor. And oh, yeah, my dentist was doing great. So what'd you call for? Well, do you know of any good pet grooming places?
The question is, on their FAQ on their website, it says their contract is a contract, not an estimate.
Who?
Your 26-page
Who
back.
gives a fuck? That's not the issue.
It's all about the supplemental claim.
I know, Tom, I learned about supplementals last week while you were gone.
Oh, God. You knew about supplementals way before.
No, I don't know as much as you think.
I think...
I was going to say she can fake it pretty good, but that doesn't sound good either.
Well, she has to.
I knew I shouldn't have said that.
Justice for Jesse. Justice for Jesse. We should get a hat.
Justice for Jesse. Is his real name Jesse?
Jesse, yeah.
You can't have J.U.?
J.U.
Well, did his parents not know how to spell?
Just one letter.
It's short for Justin.
Suzanne's parents couldn't spell. For, S-U-S, that's Suzanne.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This is the only show you'll ever hear of its kind anywhere. The original Troubleshooter show, the original list, referrallist.com. We got somebody from the referral list today, personal injury attorney John Fuller, Fuller Law. John can answer any questions. He's been helping out, chiming in. We do have a question for him, though, on liability. We said if there's an accident and somebody has a heart attack or they pass out or something, it could the insurance company could take the stance that it's negligent. It's not negligence. They have no liability. It's a sudden emergency, and they can't be held responsible. And so, okay, let's say the insurance doesn't cover the guy. Let's say the guy's a multimillionaire. Would you go after a guy if he had a heart attack, or would you find that very difficult to prove negligence?
Well, the defense is a complete defense. It's not just something that would let the insurance company off the hook. So if it would be available for the insurance company, it's certainly available to that driver himself.
But how would you fight that, or would you not bother?
No, I would bother.
If the doctor, for example, said, hey, you shouldn't be driving a car.
Well, then you shouldn't be driving a car.
Right, then that would be negligent.
That would defeat the whole applicability of the sudden emergency doctrine. Yeah.
Okay, so
it's not sudden if you know about it.
Right. So you would have to probe to figure out if you have a case or not.
Absolutely.
What percentage of cases do you probe and find out there's no case, do you think, of all cases? I'm just curious more than anything.
You know, we probably have 1 to 3% of cases, maybe not even that high, that turn up to not have coverage or not have what we're looking for.
Oh, only 1 to 3 that do not rise to the level. Oh, okay.
Very, very few. But
that's good.
We're able to call out most of those before.
Right, before you waste a lot of time.
Right.
303-713-TALK. We'll give out John's number in a minute. Here's personalinjuryco.com. Let's just talk to you guys about anything, though. Okay? We got a lot going on here. A sewer backup, is a town responsible? A city? Most of the time not. Most of the time it is a waste of time to try to go after them. Basically, municipalities are immune from liability on almost everything, really, except in extreme cases where it's egregious. If they were working on a sewer or water system, John, I want to ask your opinion on this, and they forgot to hook something up or did not hook it up correctly, and Gina experienced a sewer backup, could she go after the private contractor, or are they covered? I said they're probably covered by government immunity because they were working for the government. What do you think? Would you go after a third party in that case?
I'm sorry, John, but just what you said, I think back to that bridge that fell off of I-70 and whatever. That was all a CDOT project, but that was a third party doing the work. And
Did they go after the third party?
Absolutely.
I think they got a big check. Well, I mean, the guy was dead. It really didn't matter, but I mean, you can go after a third party, can't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you bet.
So if you were her and found out there was a private contractor doing the work and they didn't hook it up properly, you would go after a private contractor if it was...
Sure.
You would? Okay. They're not covered.
No, it doesn't extend out to subcontractors that way. And most subcontractors that do business with any of these municipalities
have insurance.
Have insurance. They have to show that they insurance or pay bonds. I mean, they're
Gina, back when they did this work, was it a private contractor that did not hook this up properly?
Yes.
Okay. How much damage do you have?
I probably have I don't know, between $20,000 and $30,000.
Oh my gosh! Will your insurance cover it?
Because I have my insurance is Travelers.
What are they saying?
Camry's insurance is Travelers. They say because it happened in the road and not on my property, they would not cover it.
Well, I understand, but the backup happened in your home.
They say nope. It's going to have mold mitigation still. We are doing that.
So did you see an attorney about going after that other party?
We are supposed to this Friday. Because Travelers sent them a letter 3 weeks ago saying, hey, we need to have you guys respond to us. That was Travelers through the town of Granby in 2 weeks. And they went to the consulting company and to the excavation company that did this project. And nothing happened. So the lady at Travelers called them and they just pushed her off. And I've left them a message, and they have not responded to me either. So
here's the danger in a case like this.
Yeah.
There are a few dangers. First, I don't think you get an attorney on contingency for this. But maybe, John, you're saying you probably could? Yeah? For this kind of liability?
Yeah, maybe. It depends on the damages, but when she's talking 30, 40,000, 50,000 in damages, that might be something that they would take on, you know.
Because it's
a complicated case, but it's only because you have all these different parties that are involved, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And so somebody's going to have insurance. They're probably all going to have insurance, but it's not unusual in my practice for Travelers to deny a perfectly legitimate claim and require us to go litigate that. That's not unheard of in my world.
But do they actually make you litigate, or do they settle right before?
Well, no, they make you litigate and file the lawsuit and go down the road. Most cases get settled before trial, but that's after you do all the work in the depots and spend all the money and everything else.
And that would be a bad faith case, right?
No, not... Well, yeah, if it's her own company, it could be.
It could be, but the coverage is likely with the contractor and not under her HO or her homeowner's policy. So,
but I would still pursue my homeowner's policy. I have not heard of
all in.
Because the sewer backups are usually covered, even if it's caused by another party, and then they go subrogate.
I believe that they also said that you have to have another policy part on your policy.
You have to have
that
you have to have an endorsement. It's called for sewer backup. That's right.
Right.
And you don't have that.
And it generally would never cover that much, though.
Why?
Yeah,
50 grand.
I would have never known all these things that you have to add to a normal policy. I mean, I don't.
First of all, we know that flood is never covered, but this is not flood. Flood is outside water entering in. Really, sewer backup is not considered flood. It's considered sewer backup or drain backup. And that's a whole separate coverage, but it does require usually an endorsement.
But if they had that endorsement and it happened to be the contractor's issue, I'm not even sure they'd be liable for that then, right?
Well,
if it was the negligence of the contractor.
Yeah, but they usually cover you and then go after the negligent party, usually. Now, here's what I would do, Gina. I would call Compass Insurance Group just to get a quote on insurance. How long have you had your insurance?
I've had it for probably, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah.
I've had it for a long time.
Anyone who's had insurance more than 4 years, you're usually paying too much and you don't have the right coverage. You have to constantly update coverage and switch companies. There's not one company, not one that you should stay with because you get the creep up syndrome. If you call Compass and say, what am I covered for? Here's what I want to be covered for. What will it cost? They're going to save you money 85% of the time. Here's the thing, Gina. It costs you nothing to find out. But they may also be able to find coverage right now for stuff that you have. They'll look at your policy right now for you. That's what I love about them. Now, Darcy called yesterday. We're going through the contract. I want to try to make this as simple as possible. Darcy had an insurance claim for 20 grand. Okay? The entire insurance claim, according to insurance, was 20 grand. The roofing part of it was 15. She signed a contract with the roofer for 15. No one is disputing that part. But when the roofer submitted the bill to insurance, they submitted it for 20, not for 15. Darcy thinks it's because they saw the extra 5 grand in her coverage, but it doesn't matter. What matters is what they submitted it for. They gave her a contract for 15, okay? They submitted for 20 and got paid 20, or she got paid the 20. The bottom line is $5,000 more than the contract. In addition to this, there was a $5,000 painting part, $5,000. My question was this: did the insurance company take away that $5,000 for painting and say, oh, we already paid the whole thing to the roofer at $20, or did they say the roofer gets paid $15 plus $5 for the supplemental, that's $20, plus you still get the $5 for painting? That part, before we go on, I need to know. Yesterday you were unsure, you said you would check. So, did they take away from your claim to give that extra $5 to the roofer, or did they add $5?
So what they did was the $5 is for paint. When they looked at the pictures that went with the final invoice, our house had already been painted during that process, and so
they credited the roofer with the painting.
No, well, they just could see that all the work had been
Darcy,
done. So
here's what I'm going to ask this question again, because there's only one answer. The original claim was $20,000. Is the original claim now amended to be $25,000?
No, it is not.
Okay, so that extra $5 the roofer charged came out of your pocket for the painting?
Yes.
You're positive of that?
On their invoice, there's nothing here about painting.
Nothing at all.
Anything but the gutters.
Nothing. So,
right, they're not claiming that they painted. They just want all of the money.
How much money total did you get from insurance right now? Total. Did you actually get?
We've gotten the full $20,000 from our insurance company.
Okay. Is there another $5,000 coming, do you know?
No, there is not.
Okay. Then that roofer truly screwed you guys.
I don't see $5,000 in painting, though, on this invoice from your insurance company.
All right, hold on. We'll look at it coming right back.
What do you see for 20? What's in the 20,000?
Windows.
Here's what I
do.
What? You have something. Mark, what is... Here's what I need to know.
What'd you say?
I need to know what the 20's for.
See what you see there. That's just from the insurance company. Their invoice has nothing to do with windows or paint that I can see.
What does the 20 break down?
Did they do the gutters? Did the roofer do
This is the roofing invoice, and it's pretty straightforward, just like the accelerator.
Did the roofer do gutters?
Did she give us the original, though?
Oh, I guess.
Did she give us the original one?
Pros do it right to save 5% more. By shopping at Lowe's.
I do not have the original.
Save 5%
You gotta ask that.
Oh, yeah.
Lowe's business credit account. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other credit offers. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only.
You gotta write this down. You gotta write this down. I say it every day. PriceFixerDenver.com. They have made buying a new furnace or air conditioner as easy as ordering a pizza. You go to PriceFixerDenver.com. You answer a few questions like, how big is your house? Is it gas or electric? You will get a quote instantly. You know, there's no charge for this, but you'll get a quote absolutely instantly on the lowest price furnace and air conditioner that you can imagine. You realize for a 2,700 square foot home, a brand new furnace installed with warranties and guarantees and everything, including permits, is as low as $2,300. Check around, you're not going to find better prices. Air conditioning season's coming up. Go there right now. PriceFixerDenver.com. Check it out. And if you need service on your furnace or air conditioner, guess what? They don't charge a trip charge or diagnostic fee. PriceFixerDenver.com. PriceFixerDenver.com. One more time. PriceFixerDenver.com.
Why did they pick a name that has nothing to do with their business?
They did, and it's a national, it's a franchise. The Denver part they added, the main website's Price Fixer.
So they didn't do, put on this there thing, no gutters either.
Someone told me it was like a, it reminded them of the mob, Price Fixer. Yeah, like collusion. But I'll tell you this, John, holy shit are they cheap, man.
It's not as bad as the hormone bros or whatever.
They actually, we have blown them up, man.
I hate that name.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, I like it.
Too racial?
I do like that. At first I thought it was goofy, but then when it started really nailing, I'll have people literally email me, what's the name of those hormone bros? And I'll go, hormonebros.com. But these guys, man, no charge to come out. Something's broke, their average price on a fix on a furnace is
I'm gonna
either
ask her for the first
79
one.
or 140.
Yeah, ask her where the hell that is. She conveniently didn't send us the original contract.
You mean the original estimate?
Yeah, for 15. Where is it?
But it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You're only talking supplementals, no matter how you look at
No,
it.
but
It's
it doesn't
five.
say supplemental, Mark. It says, it looks like it's the original. I'd like to compare line by line with the original.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It doesn't say 15 plus 5. It says 20.
All I can say is she should get, from this insurance thing, forget about these guys. I see outside of this, I see maybe $2,400. She should have $2,400 to go get her windows and shit fixed. I mean, that makes logical sense. And she's saying she never got that, right?
She's saying it's included in
She's
that
saying
extra
these
5.
guys collected this. But the problem is on their invoice, they don't talk about that shit.
No, I know. I get you on that. I'll explain it.
Paint doors and windows. Paint door and window openings, 2 code. Comb and straighten AC condenser. AC condenser. I bet if she had a public adjuster go out, she'd still be counting money. If it is so bad that hail fucked up the AC compressor, you know, if she has a deck, patio, anything.
We ought to suggest that, too, while we're at it.
Jeez, AC compressor.
What are we doing with the town of Granby? How did I leave that?
That was your lady with
She did send
the
it.
sewer in there.
What is it, the original?
Yeah.
That's the sewer back there. I think.
Here it is right there.
I think I'm done with it.
Oh, well, the problem is the original is 5,257. There's no breakdown.
15,237.
Yeah, there's no breakdown. I mean, it's like a typical roofer's.
Now, what she says really jumped it up is they added a lot of O&E to it.
Well, they get O&E if they're the
Or-
general.
but
They
they
get
say-
10%.
And then they said the insurance company denied that. Is that what it is? O&E is 10%?
Here's what I...
O&P.
O&P, overhead profit. I don't think...
O&E is on a property, ownership and encumbrances.
I don't think she's going to have much to say about this.
Tom Martino here. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for simply the best
Garage door service and maintenance anywhere. New opener starting at just $333. A LiftMaster with Wi-Fi technology. Time to close feature. Battery backups. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. 303-565-6409. Okay. We looked at this. The original contract for roofing says 15 grand. It's not broken down. The follow-up contract says 20 grand, and it is broken down. Here's the deal, okay? She's hanging her hat on a solid contract for 15 grand, she says, and she should keep the extra 5 for the painting and all of that. Here's the deal. The roofer did not submit anything about painting or any of that. Should the roofer get the full 20? Well, where is the other stuff? How does she get that other stuff done? She should be able to get everything done for the 20. We do have a way of solving her problem no matter what. But here's what I want to ask you, Darcy. The roofer goes from 15 to 20. You claim you have a contract for 15. That's all you're going to pay. If you do, he's going to lien your house for 5. And probably it's going to be a valid lien until you prove otherwise. You're claiming, but just so you know, in the roofing business, no initial contract is binding at all ever because of supplementals. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be binding, but I've never heard it. Insurance companies all the time allow for supplementals. The problem is they don't really write it as a supplemental. They simply write it as a contract for 20 grand. But they never claimed in that contract that they did your painting. And by the way, really the way it looks to us is the stuff the roofer was supposed to do was not 15. According to your original insurance estimate, it's more like 17 or 18, and there was just a few grand left for the painting. Is that right, Mark? Maybe 2 or 3 grand for the painting?
That's what I could break down just by looking at it.
Yeah, so the roofing would have been 17 or 18. And I want to know something, and again, I don't care. I swear to you I don't care, Darcy, if you just be straight with me. Were you trying to get away with not paying the deductible and putting a few grand in your pocket? I just need to know that. Is that...
No, absolutely
okay.
not.
You just want to have the money left to do the other work, right?
Right, because we already painted. We just haven't submitted for the painting.
No, I understand.
Yet.
Okay.
Well, if you
You're
haven't
not trying to
submitted for it, you'll probably get it.
She's not trying to profit on this. She's just saying, I just want to get paid.
Why not?
Why do you think you won't get paid?
Because our insurance company won't give us more than the $20,000.
Yes, they will.
They've paid out everything.
Yes, they will.
They agreed this morning.
They always do. Do you want to make a bet? Would you? Here, I want to make a bet. Do you want to make a? No. I'm serious. If we recover some money for you, if we recover, when I say this, I mean this. If we can recover $15,000 more, $15,000 more, what would you do? Would you make a donation for needy people for $500? If we get you $15,000 more,
or a $1,000 donation to a co-host?
Yeah, no, Darcy. I believe.
I'm not looking to profit.
I'm not. Well, hold on, Darcy. First of all, let me just say something about insurance claims that people don't understand. They never, ever, ever, ever pay real damage, ever, unless they're forced to, ever.
Right.
And when you say you don't look to profit, there are things like loss of life span, loss of longevity. There's stuff like depreciated visual allowances. There are things like overhead and profit. There are so many things in an insurance estimate that you can take, and you don't literally have anywhere to pay it. It's just a loss, like a site allowance or things like that, that you put in your pocket, stuff that you have paid for. And we could send someone out there, a public adjuster, to look at your claim, because I fear you have more damage, actual damage you don't even know about. And one of the clues was when we found out your air conditioner condenser was dented up. In many cases, combing it out is not good enough. And I fear that you're being screwed, not by the roofer. I mean, I just think you are undervaluing your entire claim.
I'd be shocked if some of those windows shouldn't be replaced in this claim. I know it.
So, Darcy, I'm really not trying to open up a can of worms. I think that you're underselling yourself. You called just wanting to get, this $5,000 to do your painting, and I think you're probably going to get $15,000. That's my gut. You might even get more. Mark thinks about 10 more.
And you should still get, no matter what, though, if the insurance company ended up paying $20,000 for the roof, and according to these guys, they did minus deductible, you should still get your painting and other stuff done.
Right, because the roofer did not put in for that. If they say we already paid for painting, then you say to the insurance company, where? Show me on this contract where you paid for it.
But this is why you need someone on your side.
Now, if you want to take us up on the offer, we'll put you in touch with someone, okay? If not, I don't care. It's up to you. 303-713-8255. Now, we're done here, and we're done with Darcy, and we're done with Gina. Now we go to Tony. Tony, go ahead. What's going on with you, Tony?
Yes, I did. I'm a floater for Northern Colorado.
A what?
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a what?
A floater in healthcare, respiratory technician.
A floater?
Yes. I travel from center to center.
I gotcha. Okay, so what's going on, man?
I take care of the elderly and done it for 11 years. Well, let me tell you what happened is normally I just cover PTO time and a couple weeks here vacation.
Sure.
We lost all our staff in Fort Morgan last August.
What do you mean, like they quit or what?
Well, the main guy, he actually had a heart attack, and right now is on a defibrillator. And this is relative to hardship and the job because they left him by himself. So I said, there.
Your phone, Tony, for some reason your phone fades in and out. You're saying that recently you guys had a big turnover in staff, and I need to know where we're going. What's the problem?
Can you hear me now, Tom?
Yeah, no, I sure can. So you recently had a big turnover in staff, and what's going on?
So last August, I went out there to cover for a couple weeks till I got some people in there.
Sure.
Okay. Because that's what I normally did.
Yeah.
I ended up spending 5 months out there.
You spent 5 months out there.
5 months in a motel, on call, 24/7.
We got to establish a better contact. Bro, listen, man, you waited. I just don't want you to get... I can hear every other word.
He lives in Johnstown, Tom. Yeah, so he just has terrible service up there.
There must be a way we can get... Okay, all I know is he spent 5 months up there. I'm not sure what the issue is. He had to fill in. He spent a lot of time up there. Is he not being reimbursed properly, or what is going on?
Do you think this week at all you'll get to that next gen thing? Okay, cool, man.
My schedule's just been slammed.
Another monkey's comment. That's so funny.
We've got a ortho in 1 minute.
Okay.
Ortho 60.
This guy said that Michael Nesmith is a recording star in his own right.
Wow.
Yep, that's what he says. If you plug him into Pandora or other places, give him a listen. That's what he says.
Are we at Fix It?
He always
I'm sorry,
thought
I
that he
skipped
was to the
Ideal.
group what Groucho Marx was to the Marx Brothers.
I just totally missed the roar.
John, did you know that the Monkees outsold the Beatles in 1967 and the Rolling Stones combined?
Okay.
April 15th is right around the corner, and admit it, taxes are complicated this year. Lucky for you, H&R Block has the expertise you need.
Come on and tell Tom that.
And their tax pros will get you.
Mike's going on. You can have a straight, beautiful smile for just pennies on the dollar compared to regular orthodontics or cosmetic dentistry. Cosmetic dentistry uses veneers to make your teeth appear straight. They don't always address the root problems like a crooked jaw, misaligned jaw, narrow palate. These things can cause sleep apneas and TMJ and all of that. Aurora Orthodontics takes the entire mouth and does the whole job, and they do it in 2 years by widening the palate with mouthpieces, straightening the teeth toward the end with Invisalign braces, fixing TMJ, fixing sleep apneas, all, as I said, for a few grand compared to 20 and 30,000 for other therapies. It's called the New Orthodontics, provided by Dr. Ken Lawson. He pioneered the entire process. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
This basically is saying Michelle Obama's former chief of staff called and basically told the state attorneys, Kim Fox, to get this fucking handled. That's what it's saying on TMZ.
Really? I believe something like that.
To help Jussie?
Yep.
Come on, you can't do that shit. I mean, and
Chicago.
She reportedly asked cops to stand down and to behest of Tina Chen, Michelle Obama's former chief of staff and
That
friend
GMC was
of the
the-
Jussie family.
We put those pictures up on Friday for Car Day when he sold it. That's what I was telling you.
What were you saying? What?
Well, Mark emailed back saying
What are
I
we
got no
talking about,
pictures.
Oh, did we get it sold for him?
Yeah, that's what I emailed it. Well, there was a guy who came on
Did he get
Friday.
10?
Yeah, I think he did. He like.
Did you get 12? We said 10 on the show.
We should ask him. He called asking us if we could help him sell his vehicle. I sent him somebody was interested yesterday, and then he emails back saying sold. So I don't know if
Come
he
on
got
and
10
do
or
the
12.
just come on and do a quick update.
I'll ask him if he
So we also said, and I answered him, he says, I didn't realize Tom was a very left-leaning guy. And I said he's not. I said he's middle of the road, right-leaning. That's why I asked.
Where did he get that?
I don't know. But I said he's not. I said you're middle of the road, right-leaning.
I wonder where he did get that.
I don't know.
Did you talk? Oh, he listens online.
You know what? You are
talk about
sarcastic.
Jussie.
You are sarcastic sometimes.
You were probably saying, "Oh, Jussie, good thing he got let off," or whatever. It had to have been. But that's all he said today.
Right.
I mean, he voted for Hillary.
Just one time, though.
So get inventory is up and rates are low. Call 303-695-7000. 303-695-7000.
Looks like the courts agreed with the Department of Justice, and everybody's on the same track that Obamacare is completely illegal, or at least the mandate is completely illegal.
Of course it is. I mean, there has never been ever a law that makes people buy shit.
Isn't it?
But remember, they said when it went to Supreme Court, they said no, it's a tax.
But they said it. But it's not. But it wasn't a tax.
Well, the penalty is. The penalty is.
Yeah, the penalty's a tax. Yeah, actually, he's right. Well, think about that. Really, the issue with it is they're forcing you to buy something.
That's right. Or they tax you. Now, who's ever heard of that?
You're right. I can't think of one example. People might say, well, you got to pay for this, but that's a choice. If you get a driver's license and you have to pay for it, it's a choice to drive.
And car insurance. You don't have car insurance, you get in trouble. But guess what? You don't have to pay a tax.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. It's a choice. You're not getting a fine for not doing it.
Still out, but he's getting stuff from PRP.
Oh, yeah, they trying to do it. Yeah. Are you sure that's Christy Brinkley?
Where? Where?
That woman in black.
On the right?
That's not Christy Brinkley.
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
Really? She had a lot of work done.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. We have John Fuller, attorney at law, personal injury attorney. We have a question for him. And I had this come up once before. This person is saying the other party's refusing to deal with us. I've been injured. It was the other party's fault. They got a ticket. The insurance company is saying that we cannot pay and will not do it because our insured refuses to cooperate. Isn't that a pile of crap?
Yeah, it happens.
Now that's a bunch of crap. And guess what? Fred Loya, I shouldn't be surprised. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. What's to prevent, wink wink, Fred Loya, this agent knows this is going to be a big giant case against Fred Loya, and they say to their insured, listen, if you ever want to be insured again, you better, like, make yourself scarce.
That won't happen.
Why do you think?
First off, because Fred Loya doesn't issue any big fat policies, so we're never going to have a huge Fred Loya case to begin with.
Okay.
So, secondly...
But, I mean, what's to prevent people, though, from the wink-wink, make yourself scarce, then we won't have to pay?
Well, but they will, because I'm still going to track them down and sue the driver, and then the driver can elect whether he wants to take advantage of his insurance policy and get the defense that goes along with it and get the indemnification of that size of policy, whatever bare-bones policy that he bought, or not, and I go after his personal assets. So he's going to cooperate at some point.
So you will, if an insurance company tells you, sorry, we're not paying because we have a lack of cooperation,
it happens. Yeah.
You go after the driver directly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but what happens if there's no personal injury and it's just property damage? What does that guy do?
The same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, you go after the individual, and then if they have coverage, you damn well they're going to use it.
So I can even get service of process on a person that we can't find under a substituted service law in Colorado.
What is that?
That means we can serve the insurance company and get good service on the other driver, even if he's gone missing and disappeared and everything else.
Then they have to find him.
Yeah, and then they have to defend, even if they don't find him. I've had cases where they've never showed up. I can honestly tell you I had a case where the guy was in jail and his insurance company never figured it out for the entire duration of the case.
Oh, my goodness.
So, absolutely. It happens all the time.
303-713-TALK. All right. Like a bad penny, Gina's on the phone with the town of Granby. I'm just kidding, Gina. No, I'm just kidding. They had a sewer backup. It was due to a private contractor doing sewer work in Granby. Her insurance won't pay for it. I think they should, but her insurance is saying, even though it was a sewer backup, you didn't have the endorsement, or it was caused by someone else. Whatever it is, the bottom line is this. This poor woman's, she's looking at $30,000 or $40,000 in damages. My God, I feel so bad for her. But I can't figure out who she goes after. there's governmental immunity for the sewer and water and all the government infrastructure. Then you have the private contractor, possibly, but then you have her own insurance saying we're not paying, and she says she has more to add. Go ahead, Gina. Listen, I don't want you to mistake our frustration with a lack of concern. We are very concerned for you, but we don't know where to go to find money. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's why I keep getting the runaround.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's because no one is stepping up. No one. Not your insurance, not the town. This private contractor seems to be your best bet if you sue them. But anyway, what did you want to add that we didn't cover?
I didn't want to add anything. I just wasn't quite sure where we had ended.
Okay,
so
I'm sorry. I should have capsulized that. I think where we end is...
That's who I'm going after, huh?
Yeah.
That lawyer you're meeting with on Friday?
Yes.
That's your solution.
Yeah, you need to... And I hope the attorney will do it on contingency for you.
Yeah, he's very popular around here, so I'm not too concerned about what he'll do.
Okay, so
he's a go-getter.
Is the private contractor still around?
Yes. Yes, because we're busting at the seams up here. Yes, he is still around, and actually I know of several other things that went wrong when he was working on these roads. And I think he did talk to those people.
Is he a big company?
I would say medium. I guess I would say he's big up here.
Oh,
I wouldn't say it's like Denver that has the huge...
What I'm saying is, what's going to prevent him from going bankrupt?
Oh, he won't. Yeah, I'm not concerned about that.
Why?
No.
I'm curious. Why?
Because we're busting at the seams in Grand County, and everybody has work, and...
Okay.
No, I'm not concerned about that.
All right, well...
What about the consulting companies? So Travelers Insurance...
Well, they didn't do the work. The consulting company said hook it up, and he didn't hook it up. I mean, what did they do wrong?
I don't know. That's who Travelers gave me to get in touch with, the consulting company and the company who did the excavation.
And let's say the consulting company had a bad plan, you know, like...
Yeah, bring them all in.
Yeah, that's what John says. You know, just go after all of them. I mean,
God sort them out, you know?
Exactly.
She did not seem unpleasant, dishonorable, and unwanted to me.
No. What does that mean?
That's what a bad penny is.
Oh, a bad penny. Oh, I see. No, I was just kidding. Hey, Gina, call us back after your meeting with the attorney. Seriously. Hey, Jim, what's going on with Courtesy Mazda? We usually have car day, but heck, we take car problems throughout the week. What's going on?
This is going to be the best story you're going to hear today.
Okay, if it is, I'll buy you lunch. What is it?
Courtesy Mazda sold me a Nissan pickup truck, and Carfax didn't show any damage or anything, but my insurance company found out through AutoCheck it had a bent frame. Courtesy Mazda did a full body-off frame replacement for my truck.
Without telling anyone?
What do you mean without telling anyone? They got it from an auction. The auction essentially defrauded them.
Oh, wait. So, hold on. Jim, you bought your truck from Courtesy?
Yeah.
And Courtesy purchased it from an auction?
Yeah.
And who did the repairs to the truck?
Courtesy, even though it's not their brand, took in my Nissan truck and did it in at their facility.
Oh, did they do it because they felt bad for you?
Oh, no, they work with me. I mean, you talk about good faith. Holy God, I've never seen so much in my life.
So you're saying that you like Courtesy Mazda. They did a great deal for you.
Oh, I took the guy's pizza yesterday.
Okay.
I mean,
so
they did this.
Where did Courtesy get screwed? Explain to me what happened to that truck.
Okay, apparently it got in an accident, and the auction took this vehicle in as a repo.
Yeah.
5 days later, they tried to sell it. They tried to auction it, and they announced at the auction that it had structural damage. It didn't sell. They held it in their inventory for 219 days before they attempted to sell it again.
Okay.
Courtesy Mazda popped up their head, and they sold it to them, but they didn't do the auction announce on the structural damage, so Courtesy never would have bought.
So Courtesy bought a truck that was really bad off, and then Courtesy sold it to you without knowing it.
Yes.
And then when you found out, Courtesy went and fixed the entire thing.
Yes.
Well, that's great.
They went to arbitration with the auction. The auction finally admitted fault. They ponied up the money.
That's nice.
Courtesy took in the truck, and they only have 4 bays, and it tied up 2 of their bays and 2 of their techs for a couple of days to do this. But they ordered the new frame, brand new in the box from Nissan, brought it in, tore the truck completely down, replaced the frame, drives like a dream. They did a fantastic job. The 2 guys who were the driving force behind this was Min, M-I-N, and Kevin. And they did a bang-up job, and we're just happier than pigs and swell. Okay?
This is, I mean, it's really nice that you took the time to call to let people know. That is great. Yeah. That is really, no, that's nice. And my hat's off to Courtesy for doing that for you, Jim. That you very seldom hear stuff like that. Very seldom. 303-713-8255. We have lines open.
Sponsored.
Oh, pigs and swell. I got you. I thought he was saying like a pig that's getting fat. Pigs that swell.
No.
What do you think this is, man? It went too easily. Oh wait, Mayor Emanuel was in the Obama administration.
I think he might be pissed though. Yeah, right here. Look what he's saying. The mayor's saying this is bullshit.
That's not the mayor, that's the head of police.
So basically Michelle Obama...
No, it says Chicago mayor. This sends a message there is no accountability.
That's right.
He's pissed. He's on the side of the police.
Oh, he's big time. The police are pissed. He's pissed.
They're leaving, too. He's leaving to be mayor. So
leaving mayor?
No accountability.
Yeah, he's leaving.
So this fucking guy got away with it because he's got connections to the Obamas. That's what this is coming down to.
So Michelle pulled her car.
I hope. Hold on, guys.
See, and people say
Obama's
such a nice guy.
Dan, Fix It 24/7 will clean, adjust, and inspect your furnace and your air conditioner both for $68. Now, normally they do each one for $39. Even that is a steal. That should be over $200. They spend more than an hour. They take it apart to the extent they can. They remove the burners when they can. They adjust them. They take out the squirrel cage. They clean it. They fix your entire AC system and bring it up to specs. It is a great deal at $68. 720-526-3939.
He maintained he didn't say anything.
What's that? Are they investigating this whole thing? Are they investigating this whole thing?
Well, the big thing is the Fed thing.
Is everyone asking why small? But why? I mean, I'm surprised the media is going after him.
Is she gone already?
Because he's a darling, you know. So
well, they don't want that to look bad either, though.
Someone told me she's in the Springs now, but I didn't know she already left.
But like say,
Jessie got promoted. She's down in the Springs now.
Our Jessie?
Yeah, Jess.
What is she doing?
Whatever like Tim does here, but down there, I assume.
Like a market manager?
Yeah, but that's a lot smaller. But yeah, she got promoted. I don't know if pay was lateral because of different size of markets. I don't know about any of that shit. But she loves it and she took it. So.
But remember, this is just city. There's still the Fed case, and I don't know if Michelle's got enough pull. You don't think so?
Well, no, the FBI thing maybe. Remember, he sent fake powder. He sent fake powder. That's pretty big deal.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Mark, come on. Give the guy a break. You're trying to get him right on studio.
You're right. He was really just sending them sugar because he liked it.
Good Archie song.
Man, how old are you?
Quite.
Was that played at your prom?
You know, Yale kicked out all the kids.
What's that?
Yale didn't keep one of those kids. They said, you're all out.
Fuck, they should have too, man.
But SoCal didn't.
No, I thought they definitely got rid of what's-her-face.
No, she decided not to come back and said, I don't.
That's not what I read. I said they told her and the other one and somebody else, no way, Jose. Because they knew that they knew. That's why. Now, if the kids didn't actually know, I say they should stay. What do you think? No, fuck them.
That you leave it open for somebody deserving. Screw that.
Yeah, but the kids didn't know it.
It doesn't matter. It took away another spot. Do you know 40,000 people applied to this one college back east, 9,000 accepted. Do you realize how many people get turned down? So every
But if
spot
you
is
have
worth-
money, why not be able to just buy your way in?
You can.
Okay.
No, you can. There's nothing wrong with what Dr. Dre did. He made a $70 million donation. That's legal. Harvard can say, hey, you make a $10 million donation, we'll let your kid in. There's nothing wrong with that. They fucking can run their school
But it's
anyhow
on
they
the up
want.
and up.
But you can't cheat and on tests, and they did illegal shit.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not illegal to give preferential treatment to donors, and anyone who thinks that they don't do that are full of shit. Dr. Dre just admitted he made a $70 million donation.
Along with somebody else.
God almighty.
And some free headsets.
He went out and tweeted about how his daughter got in the old-fashioned way, and then somebody pointed out, except for your $70 million donation.
And then that tweet was gone.
Oops, let me delete that,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Well,
But that's the same way all his buddies' kids got it, so it was the norm.
Snoop Dogg's boy didn't get in that way.
Was he there?
Snoop Dogg's boy, look up Snoop Dogg's son. He's a football star in college, and he's doing well.
Oh, because he plays football.
But maybe Snoop Dogg did do a donation. Who cares? All of those donors get special.
Well, these guys all apparently went around the school too. You know, they're slipping money to the coaches and shit.
No, that's the wrong
phony
part.
pictures.
No, that. And by the way, that's the schools were the victims. The state wasn't a victim. The state wouldn't have prosecuted this if the school didn't want to. It's the school that said we got fucked.
States aren't
They did
prosecuting
get fucked.
it. The states are not prosecuting her. It's federal.
Okay, well,
So the states have nothing to do with it.
but they have to have a crime.
They do. Robbery, and the guy selling his you know,
fake pictures.
Well, selling spots on teams, and you know,
that's exactly.
Well, how about
your
having
polo
someone
and
else
your
show up
rowing
for the
team and
SATs?
stuff.
But here's what I'm
Well,
saying.
that's
Let's
equally
say-
fraudulent.
yeah.
That's totally criminal.
And
right
that's
there.
and that's a state thing. But if the school, let's say, had a coach, and the coach was accepting bribes and letting people in, and the school did not want to prosecute, said fuck it, I doubt they would go after it.
But they're doing all these charges federally. They're getting them on like mail fraud and
Yeah,
wire
no,
fraud
I
and
know,
all
on
this stupid
stuff,
shit
right,
that they can
that they don't need cooperation.
That's
they
big
can
time
charge
stuff
people
too.
too. Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. We have lines open except for Matt. We'll take Matt in a minute here. We have John Fuller, Fuller Law. If you have any questions on personal injury or just questions in general for law, we have a couple emails. And I made some comments about the town of Granby earlier. It stemmed back to that story of the guy that bulldozed the town. That was a wild story. So do you have any comments? Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so I just have kind of an interesting side note of that. So my family actually knew, so me and my wife got a divorce, and her second husband knew that guy personally, and it's kind of an interesting story.
It was Marvin, remember? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marvin Hemeyer.
Hemeyer, right, all right.
Yeah, so anyway, he was actually showing my son how to shoot a .50 caliber, and he was in the garage welding up this bulldozer.
I wonder if we can get... I want you to continue. Is there a way we can get the log from back then? Do we have any... Is there any log from back then where you can get his call from... I wish I would have kept his call. Anyway, keep going, man.
So anyway, long story short...
He was welding it up and the kid saw it?
Yeah, he was welding up like a bulletproof thing, but he did... You know, and I hate to say this on the radio, but he did shoot himself when he got stuck in.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they got. So he ended up killing himself.
Unfortunately, he shot himself with the .50 caliber. But he didn't hurt anybody personally or whatever. But I'm just telling you, it was just kind of interesting.
What was the real recap though for us that don't remember it? He was upset because he didn't get a permit. What?
There was something with zoning.
Yeah, it was something to do with his Midas shop.
Right, that's right.
He was all pissed off about that. And so he just plowed through town.
He was only 52 years old.
Yeah,
and it says here in Wikipedia, he was an American welder and automobile muffler repair shop, and he went on a rampage.
Yeah, I think he took like a D8 or D9 through town. And just
it was a Komatsu bulldozer, and he fortified it. He had been feuding with Granby officials over fines for violating city ordinances and a zoning dispute regarding a concrete batch plant constructed opposite his muffler shop.
It's like a,
In '92, he purchased 2 acres of land from RTC. That was during the S&L crisis. And the federal agency organized... Oh, anyway, so he purchased this land for $42,000. He put his muffler shop on there and agreed to sell the land to somebody else to build a concrete plant. Yeah. And then they agreed they were going to pay him $250,000 or something, and then he changed his mind and increased the price to $375,000, and then said $1 million. Some believe that was a negotiation. Anyway, so then in 2001, the zoning commission and town trustees approved the construction of the plant. Heemeyer attempted to appeal the decision. I don't know why he didn't want the plant built. I don't know why. Maybe
it sounds like he was trying to sell them that land, and then they bought something across the street.
Maybe. And it was claimed that the construction blocked access to his shop. And then it says Heemeyer was fined $2,500 for something, various violations, junk cars on the property. That's what he called us about. And then...
Oh, go ahead.
And then, let's see, it was discovered he was dumping waste from his tank directly into the irrigation dish. So he had a tank, but the tank was damaged, his sewer tank or holding tank. And then anyway, so I'm just saying, because this was a fascinating story. And then he took about a year and a half to prepare. And he wrote notes and a log when he was preparing. Yeah.
Did he kill anybody?
No, he actually...
He just bulldozed down what? Different buildings?
The whole town.
He ran over different buildings, then he got stuck inside like a trench.
It was almost the entire downtown.
Yeah, and
that's insane.
And that's when he popped himself. But, I mean, just a coincidental thing, I heard that lady say, or you talking about it, that, you know, because he was like I don't know if you call it justice of peace or whatever. He was a person that you could marry somebody to, so he married my ex-wife to her second husband.
Oh my God!
My son hung out with this cat.
Now Heemeyer, by the way, could not see outside of the bulldozer except for video camera and a monitor.
Yeah, it was insane.
He didn't have a hole to look at. It said.
Yeah, it was pretty insane.
This guy really planned this son of a gun.
They're lucky he got stuck, man.
Yeah, like literally.
He had tool steel.
I don't think he would have actually, done anything stupid.
What's the police
department? It was resistant to all guns and explosives. 3 external explosions of more than 200 pounds of ammunition fired at this bulldozer and had no effect.
That's what I mean. What kind of police force is like trying to shut him down at the time?
Right.
Like 3 guys?
And he had a .50 caliber inside the dozer.
It's like Andy of Mayberry. Andy, get me that bullet.
John, maybe this... Oh, he's dead. I was going to say he could have been a good client for you.
I know. Anyway, so, we digress. We're going to go and take all of your calls. Please, did not forget about you, Steve. Stick around, okay? Steve, he wants to talk about copyright infringement. Diane wants to talk about an HOA assessment. We'll talk about your problems, questions, and complaints coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. We have... John Fuller Law. By the way, when he's not here, he's at 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Stick around for more.
I vaguely remember it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, there he is. Holy shit. That's a full-blown tank, man.
Once they finally opened the lid on that thing, they dumped about 2 mags down the hatch.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah.
He shot himself with a 50 cal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't bring a 50 cal.
Yeah, how do you shoot yourself with that cannon? I mean, that's bullshit.
Hey,
look at this.
Your buddy Don McLean, I know why he didn't get back with you.
Why?
I'm just going to show you.
Why?
This is his new girlfriend.
Oh, he's busy, is what you're saying.
That's his new girlfriend.
Are you shitting me?
No. Yeah, no. He's divorced his ex-wife, that's what she said.
His wife.
Don's much younger gal pal, Paris Dillon.
Enjoy it anymore.
She's probably...
What does Don look like now? Smart.
They shot her.
God, look at the speed of this thing, too.
He doesn't look anything like he used to.
That's JUUL.com.
So you can.
So she says, 15 minutes with my lovely lady, or answer Tom's email.
Let me see him.
Yeah, you think he would have said,
From his Hudson River days.
he would have remembered me. Oh, they have it on video?
Look at this fucking thing, man. That's badass. They just showed like something like a fucking rocket launcher hitting it. It bounced off.
Look, that's another one. Look.
He's a nut, man.
Oh, you got problems.
You really built this thing, right?
It took him a year and a half. Didn't people say, you didn't ask him on the show, were you building this?
No, he didn't tell us.
No, I know.
No, that thing hauls ass too, man.
No, he called the show, man.
That's crazy.
He didn't threaten anything. He just sounded like
So that's a little digger on the back. He could have been.
He did sound like a nut.
Look, he's chasing this guy down.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Well, that's an earth mover there.
Look how fucking fast it's going.
It must be sped up, but I don't know, man.
I don't think so.
I don't
He's just got video. He's driving pretty good for video. It's going to get the earth mover.
What's he going to do to it? I want to see what he does.
He's got a track, man. He'll push those tires right on dirt. There's no... Oh, my God!
You flip it? Why doesn't a guy just take off?
That's an expensive piece of equipment.
Yeah.
But what was that out there to begin with?
I don't know, man. But
Did you see him knock down any buildings? That's what I want to see.
He drove through the grocery store. I drove up there after that happened.
Is there really?
That was a mess.
Chad was up looking for people who got hit in the grocery store.
What year was that?
How did he not kill anybody?
80s?
No, wait. 90? No, 2000. Oh, wait. No. It was only 12 or 14 years ago.
It's 5 p.m.
2004.
2004.
15 years ago. Yeah.
He must be headed to the grocery store, because I think this was... Well, this is after the camera showed up.
He didn't want to hurt people, they say.
But he wanted to go through the grocery store?
That is an incestuous little community up there.
Is that right?
Oh, it's
man.
fucking bad.
Yeah.
People have been around for years
There were
and
people
years.
secretly cheering this guy.
I'm sure.
They were secretly cheering.
He was 52.
Look at the fucking debris on this thing. He already went through buildings.
He never planned on getting out.
Oh, hell no. When they refer to what he did as improvement, that tells you a lot about it. Yeah, that's crazy.
There's just cylinder blocks on top.
But didn't people say, hey, what are you making this for?
Come on, let's see. Come on.
It was a grocery store.
Come on.
Hardware store. I think that's the grocery.
Oh, it's like,
I love
ooh, what's that smoke from? Holy crap.
That's when he look.
Just taking the front right out the damn building.
He just wants to get the front so he doesn't get hung up on it.
No,
They shot something else at him, didn't they?
It's like a smoke grenade to try to...
He protected the tires, the engine, everything. Or the not tires, the tracks. I mean,
Look at that.
He could have been making vehicles for ISIS.
That's a hell of a deal.
Is that where he dies?
I don't know. I thought he got stuck. That doesn't look stuck. That looks on fire.
Looks like he's draining some shit out the bottom of that sucker.
See, that's what they could have done, is throw a bunch of Molotov cocktails at him and burn them all.
They said he killed himself.
Yeah, by gunshot wound.
He's leaking.
Suicide by gunshot.
No, I think that's smear, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, wait.
That looks like...
Is he going through this building now? Did it look like a war zone when you went up there?
Yeah.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Where is Granby? Is it past Winter Park?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of Boy Scout
Like before you turn to Grand Lake.
Yeah.
There's a Boy Scout camp up there.
You go right through the middle of it. And then there's, what's that other little shit hole up there?
Silverthorne.
No, that's in some county.
Here's the progress.
You've heard me talk about Art of Granite because I
Come on, man.
way. Mitch Floria, the owner, does business.
Well, that's a hardware store there, huh?
Early 2000s with $300 and decided he wanted to be in the
Yeah, I know. You got to wonder if he decided, like, does he have a
Look
beast?
how fucking easy.
That's all concrete, man.
I can't say it
Tabernash. That's probably that's where that Boy Scout camp.
Now he's moving.
You don't have to run all over and shop around.
Oh my God! Oh my God! They're definitely speeding this up, but man.
No, I don't know if they're speeding it up,
You
Mark.
will go to the showroom and pick out your material, your edges, your
He
seams.
knows what he's doing, man. He's taking that thing right down.
Yeah, when he goes to the edges. Yeah.
Oh, look, they're trying to get him with that.
Oh, is that what they're trying to do with that? Like War of the fucking Machines?
Like Transformers.
Yeah. Well, no, they're trying to block him in.
Look at this guy.
That's just
God, you guys weren't shitting. He took down this town, man.
Oh, you haven't seen shit. When he gets done, they do an aerial.
Looks like Iraq. Or the Caliphate, or whatever they call it.
To help your arthritic joints heal naturally. Check them out at downtownshealthcare.com.
I'm shocked. I wonder. Look at these idiots. Oh, those are cops. They're shooting.
What are you shooting at? Nothing. Those fucking bullets.
At ABP, we're designing
Look.
a better way to work.
You assholes.
Out there with a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Bouncing BBs off of them.
Learn more at
It was impervious, they said, to 200 pounds of explosives.
Ideal Home Loans has
That is amazing.
help you with that consolidation.
God, he was pissed.
Molotov cocktail or the heated stuff up. Fuck, it wouldn't have done shit. Takes a Molotov cocktail would have bounced off of that and laughed. No, they would have. It would have
building on fire.
It would have done the building on fire too, but no, it would have covered with fire and heated it up and stuff. I'm sure you would have got hot. You need a fucking barrel of gasoline to heat that up. A few of them. You know how big it is? You're talking about a fucking Coke bottle? No, not a Coke bottle. We're talking a big bottle. How would you deliver that Molotov? How would you? You just throw it. Throw it. You just throw them. Haven't you ever done that when you were a kid?
You knock on the door, he opens it, you throw it in. God, look at that. That must be where he got stuck, because he ain't moving.
Pull the gun out.
Let's see, Speed Force, see if this is where he dies.
It's got to be pretty close.
No. Went moving again, didn't he?
No,
this is
they're
that
going
one.
back. That was it. Oh, no, there they are. Yep.
In shorts.
That's where he parked, man.
The guy didn't look like a nut, by the way.
Like they're dumping him over that dumpster, you know.
Hey, man, you doing okay in there?
Need some lunch?
You seem a little
upset.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and I welcome you to my show, to our show, to the show where we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little easier. I started this show so many years ago, the first of its kind, the only of its kind, the longest running show on radio, really, truly continuous, with the same host currently on the air. And we love what we do. Recovering millions of dollars, man. Millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We got a lot going on. We're going to get right to the phones. We have an expert in today from our referral list at referrallist.com, where you'll find a bunch of experts. We have John Fuller, Fuller Law, personal injury attorney. He answered a few questions for us of note and from emails. And if you have any, give us a call. We are going to ask about, we're going to talk to Steve now. He wants to know about copyrights. Let's talk to Steve. Steve, what's going on with you, sir?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Appreciate your help.
What's happening?
Hey, I'm a small business owner. I'm in the marketing business. I got an email from a company, an organization called Image Rights International, alleging that somewhere on my website was a photo that was copyright protected.
By the way, Getty Images is the most popular one, but there are all kinds of companies that are out trolling for copyright infringement, and some of them are scams, and if you pay them, it's just, you know, you're just falling for a scam. Other ones truly do have the rights. So what does this letter ask for?
This letter basically asks for a $750 payment because this image was on our site.
Does it say you must take it down?
I believe it did. Or I'm not. I think it's really just saying that you have to pay for the rights to use it. Well, the interesting just little twist is we didn't use the image, so we're in the marketing sector, as I said.
Who used the image?
Well, so part of what we do is promotional marketing products. So we have 500,000 products loaded onto our site, and this was an image. This particular image was from one of our suppliers that was offering a business card magnet, in this case, with this image on it that they say they own the rights to. So I said, hey, this isn't my problem.
Yeah, well, it actually is. If you host a site and you have stuff on your site that violates, let's ask an attorney, and we'll drill it down. Mark Trenner, Trenner Law, he's a intellectual property attorney for patents, trademarks, trademark infringements, and all kinds of stuff like that, and patent searches. I'd like to ask Mark, in general, before we answer this question, in general, if you have a website, are you responsible for any and all content on that website?
You generally are. There are some exceptions, so you'd want to check into that. Also, if you were putting something on your website that somebody else provided to you, hopefully there's some sort of agreement where they basically agree that they own the copyright, and if they don't, that they'll indemnify you for any infringement.
Now, Steve, what exactly does your website do? Does it sell marketing material?
Yeah, so this particular site has a bunch of different things, but yes, it shows the different promotional products that are
For example,
available.
can I order coffee mugs?
Exactly.
Okay, and I can order pens, and I can order business cards, and part of this was a business card sample was showing this photo.
Yes.
Okay.
From a supplier. Yeah.
Right. And what did the supplier say when you contacted them and said, "I'm getting in trouble for this"? What did they say?
Yeah, they said basically, we think this is a scam. We're not going to play along, and you should just ignore this.
Well, you shouldn't ignore it.
Well, he didn't actually get served yet, though, did you?
No.
He got a letter.
We just got an email. We haven't even gotten a letter.
Okay. So, the supplier, did you take the photo down? Did you ask them to take it down?
We had it taken down in less than 24 hours.
Okay. So what would you do then, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, there might be an exception if you weren't aware of it. Somebody else posted it onto your site, and
but he's marketing these. He's marketing these materials on his site.
Yeah, but I mean, once you were notified that it was a copyright infringement, you took it down. It was somebody else's material.
Are they still asking for the money, Steve? Are they bugging you?
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly, we're thinking the same way. I said, hey, very sorry, we had no idea that this image was on there. This, we don't even control the feed. This is the feed of those 500,000 products, as you can imagine, is a ton of work. That comes from a third-party source.
Yeah, but none of that matters, Steve. You did what you did. You took it off. What did they say?
Yeah, and they said, too bad, it doesn't matter.
Too bad, so sad.
It doesn't matter that you never sold that product. It doesn't matter that you didn't make any money. You violated our rights.
Those things don't matter, but the fact that it was somebody else's on your site might, I know that there was a change to the federal copyright law to cover just that scenario. For example, when things show up on the Google search engine, they're not responsible for it. I think it was the digital copyright revision, something like that.
I was just going to ask Mark
I'd
that.
have to look that up. Yeah.
Because when you Google something and go to images, there's a bunch of copyright images right there. Does Google have the use of
they're
them?
Not. And if they do put something up that's infringing, there's a notice provision where you have to give notice, and they have the ability to take it down before you can pursue damages. So that might apply here. I'm not sure specifically. I'd have to look it up, but that's something to consider before you just go off and pay them. But you don't want to just ignore them, because the next thing that happens, if they are legitimate, is then they just hand it over to an attorney. And
it wasn't Getty, was it, Tom?
Fees.
Well, no, it's another one, but it's not Getty. I mean, it could be a scam. You don't know, but I mean, how do you tell, Mark, if they have authority to collect? How do you even tell?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Suzanne sent over a link, and I went on and I looked at it, and it looks all fine, but so do a lot of scams, so it's hard to tell unless it is somebody big like Getty Images. They're easy to tell, but if it's anybody else, it's not quite so easy. But the fact is,
Steve, you can wait.
Went up there.
You can wait and see what they do. I mean, if you get served, then you know it's for real.
Yeah, then they're going to hit them with a little more money, too.
Yeah, that's true. And what I'd do is look into the exception under that copyright revision and see if he has an argument there. If he does go back to them, say, you didn't comply with the notice provisions, or we'll consider this notice provision, I took it down, and therefore we're exempt, and see where it goes from there. That's what I would look into, that exception.
Yep.
Also, do you have a contract with the supplier saying that if you do get sued for copyright infringement, that they indemnify you?
I'll have to look for that. But repeat what that was, the Digital Copyright Act?
Yeah, DCM. I'd have to look it up. If you want to call me offline, we can look it up and look at it.
Yeah, and here's how you can get in touch with Mark Trenner. 720-221-3708.
Mark, does
720-221-3708.
Hey, Mark, real quick, do ISPs, are they basically protected here?
Internet service providers are, yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, hold on.
I'm not sure if this
hold on. I know a guy that hosted websites, and one of the websites he hosted was a pirated movie content, and he went to jail for it. So how much are they indemnified? He went to jail for it.
That's, yeah, I mean, it's going to depend if he knew
He was an ISP.
On.
Well, who knows? He was an ISP.
Yeah.
One of the servers, one of the many servers, had a service on there where people could download pirated movies.
Yeah,
and
if you know that's going on, you're not going to be covered by it. But it's basically intended to cover innocent infringement if you're just operating a site and somebody posts something on there and you're provided with notice and you comply and take it down, then you're supposed to be exempt.
Can you imagine if, like, the libel laws went through to Yelp for people making fake reviews and stuff? We'd have no internet, honestly.
No, I mean, it gets ridiculous. But credit, it happens with credit all the time. Landlords love to slam your credit to try to squeeze you to pay. Other companies do it. This slander of credit is a big, big, big deal. It's blackmail, really.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Travel across the Mile High.
I had Getty literally sue me. Serve me everything.
Why?
For images on my website. It was a picture of a cup of coffee. Literally, it was a coffee cup. And on our website for Ask Me Goodyear, it said free coffee. And it was literally a picture of a coffee cup. Never thought anything of it. But I was going through my BK at the time, so I just fucking threw them in there and it went away. So,
how much were they going to sue you for?
Originally, they wanted like $250. I don't know where it ended up. I have no idea because everything just started going to my attorney. I paid him over $100,000, but Brian saved me $2.3 million.
Easy start technology for simpler full starts. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Okay, Mike's coming on. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. That's what I say. Why do I love Ideal? First of all, they do credit optimization. People don't realize what that means. Even though you're approved by most companies, they go further than that. Even though you're approved, they take steps to make your credit even better by having you pay down a balance by 20, 40, 50 bucks or move something here or there or correct an address, and that gets you better pricing. They also have a custom term loan. You get the lower rate, but you don't have to go back to 30 years. You pick your term. They also have the rate guarantee. If rates go down over the next 2 years by just 0.75%, you get refinanced free of charge, and then they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. These are the ways I love Ideal. Credit optimization, custom term loan, rate guarantee, and pre-approvals. You can love them too at idealhomeloans.com for your next ideal home loan, idealhomeloans.com or 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
There's going to be a lot more on this.
On Jussie, people don't let people.
Dude, I was just reading it. It's bad. They're saying this is a fucking travesty.
Not only that.
Like, what are they saying that somehow there was a behind-the-scenes deal, right?
They're saying big time. Michelle Obama. They're not mixing words, and that's on TMZ.
No, well, see, they don't. He doesn't shut up. He says, "I'm vilified because people rush to judgment."
I know. He won't shut up. I know.
The police force did not rush to judgment. They were very cautious about everything they said.
But you won't see the truth on CNN, though. They're not saying anything about Michelle.
You're going to see a nurse practitioner. You're not going to see a physician's assistant. You're going to see a physician.
Well, they're not. TMZ's not saying Michelle like made this phone call. They're saying that whoever worked for her did.
Because Centeno Schultz is located right here in Colorado.
This will be one of these things. This could get really bad.
Oh, the mayor is pissed because the guy is running down the police department.
Right.
He doesn't know when to shut up.
How dare him, the mayor said.
Yeah, they did. And the police department.
This is the guy who's been let off.
Yeah.
And he should take a cent. So he's saying you better fucking count your lucky blessings.
He calls it a whitewash of justice.
Online at avoidsurgerytoday.com.
And that's why if they just would have shut up and said, "Hey, case closed," but he says this shows that we're vindicated and stuff. We didn't do anything. and the media and the cops rush to judgment.
Man, the mayor is in his words, using a hate crime laws on the book to protect people, only to turn around and use these laws to advance your career and financial reward. Is there no decency in this man?
And that's Emmanuel, and then he was a extreme liberal.
I know.
He's extreme. He was the, what would you call the guy that Sanders is now for?
He's pissed, man.
I have been truthful and consistent from the beginning.
They need to, they better handle this, man. If those two really did come forward and they had a perfect case against this guy and they let him off, that is fucking a travesty.
Man, Trump will tweet about this?
No! No way! Trump tweet about this? No way. He might do a fucking
The mayor says this is not on the level.
And you're talking about one of the most liberal people. His brother wrote up Obamacare. Emmanuel, what's his last name?
I'm out of here in a minute, so you know. I got an eye appointment.
Show him your eyes.
You, after you whacked me in the head with
This
a
mayor is
fucking
saying,
ball.
listen, the mayor is saying from top to bottom, this is not on the level. It's not on the level. But I also want to say, I want to emphasize that at the end of the day, it's Mr. Smaller that committed this false claim upon two individuals. Wow, this guy.
Romeo. What's his name?
The mayor? Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. But his brother wrote up
he used the laws to this guy's pissed.
Well, it makes him look like his city look like an idiot.
But then, instead of taking his win and shutting up, he went out. He's an asshole, that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. So, on this Granby call, the woman's just basically upset with the sewer system that was put in wrong and ruined her, or $30,000 in damage. Jason says he has some advice. What's your advice, Jason? Are you there, Jason? Okay, I'm going to hang up on him and go to Diane. Diane, what's going on with you, Diane?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Diane.
I'm calling regarding my parents living in an HOA covenant area up in Longmont, and they had hail damage on their on the whole facility back in August of 2018, and it had to go through a special HOA meeting.
Is this a common roof?
It's a common roof. There's 89 buildings,
gotcha.
Fourplexes,
All right.
a number of them, okay?
Gotcha.
So the damage occurred, the big storm back in August of 2018. The HOA meeting where all the owners voted was on March 16th.
What did they vote?
Yes, that they want the roofs replaced and to pay a special assessment of approximately $8,000 per unit. So in the meantime...
But what about insurance?
That's what I'm calling about, because I had farmers insurance up to March 5th. And at the time, we had already been proactively searching for cheaper insurance through Allstate, which was, several $100s less per year. So filed the claim, told farmers I was going to be canceling their policy, but there would be a...
Why did you go to Allstate? Did you shop around?
Because they were cheaper.
Did you actually shop?
I did.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So, processed the claim, turned the claim into farmers, which was canceled as of March 5th. The cancellation was sent January 29th.
Yeah, they're not going to cover it because it was assessed on the 16th.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
Because it's not the date of loss. The date of loss is for damages, and you're not covered for roof damages. You're covered for special assessments.
So then technically... maybe Allstate will pick that up.
Well, I think they should, but I don't know, man. I have a feeling they're both going to try to weasel out. Here's the deal. If it was a roof claim, then farmers would cover it from date of loss. But technically, your coverage is not a roof claim. Your coverage is special assessment. I'm assuming you had special assessment coverage.
Correct.
Yeah. But the special assessment must come as a result of a covered peril. However, it's not from date of loss for the covered peril. It's date of assessment. In most of those policies, you will find it's the date of assessment because technically there was no assessment until there was an assessment.
And then the new policy could very well say somewhere in there that if the actual act happened prior to them, then they're not going to cover it.
So, which means she's in a loop. How much is the assessment?
$8,000.
What I want to know is, what about, doesn't the HOA, though, have insurance for their roof?
They do, but it's not covering it to the extent. Yeah,
okay, so that's why the special, okay, I understand, I understand. All right.
We should ask Compass.
That is really weird. We should ask Compass. You're right. You're right. Hold on.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm in a quandary here.
You are. You are the definition of a quandary. Okay?
Or a quagmire.
So, not a quagmire, but a quandary. Let's hold on and see. Let's see what Compass says. This is a good one to ask them. Suzanne, did you hear us on Compass Insurance Group? If you get a chance, we'd like to have them on. David has an update on his eyes. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened. I believe what happened was you were thinking about a clear lens exchange. Is that right, David? David? He didn't have his ears fixed. David? Okay, I hear somebody there. See if he's there. If not, let's just talk to Jerry. Okay, Jerry. Okay, he's not there. Jerry, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom, this is Jerry. Me and my wife were working Evergreen, Walmart, day labor overnight, and Sunday morning we were resting in the back of our vehicle before we headed down the mountain. We were tired. Well, a tow truck driver slammed up against us and hooked up to our vehicle and jacked it way up, and we were inside of this vehicle.
Wait. So he has a contract with Walmart to tow?
I guess so. He does.
And you were parked there overnight, but he didn't know you were in there?
Right. He didn't know we were in the vehicle.
Where did he take you?
He didn't take us nowhere. I jumped out of the vehicle.
And you said, hold on, bro, I work here.
Yep.
What did he say?
They called the store manager, and it was the day manager, and she said, I don't care. They've been here for 3 nights, and we worked 3 nights. So it was the day manager, and they didn't care. So he was going to tow us. He had us pay $50 to drop it. But my main concern is that he didn't look inside the vehicle to see if anybody was in it.
Yeah, I mean...
You know.
But what the hell can you do about it? Do you have any damages?
Just, no. You know, no vehicle damages, just loss of $50.
Yeah, well, I would go after that. I tell you what, though. I would go after that manager that hired you. If you worked there 3 nights and you were parked there 3 nights, that manager, that was wrong of her to make you pay $50 or to demand that you get towed. That's bull crap.
What was the day labor?
It was labor finders, and they're really not caring about the situation.
Here's what I'm asking. How do they find you? Do they go to a place and say, we need 3 people?
Yeah, they call this company, and they
and then you go out there and work. And you work there 3 nights, and you were parked there while you were working.
Right. And
that manager said, I don't care if he says he works here or not. He was there 3 days.
Yep, I've seen him. I've seen that vehicle here for 3 nights.
Yeah, but you worked 3 nights.
Exactly.
That's wrong, man. Well, these guys, come on, man. These guys, that's all the money. That's practically everything they made. That's ridiculous. I mean, have a heart, for God's sakes.
Right,
well, no, we should call this Walmart for this guy. This guy and his wife are working their asses off and living in their car, and then they get sacked with $50. That's not right.
And
what Walmart was it, Jerry? Jerry, what
Evergreen.
Walmart? What Walmart?
Evergreen, Colorado.
Huh?
Evergreen, Colorado.
All right. Hold on.
The manager's name was Christy.
Okay, hold on. I want Deputy Dapp to call on this. Seriously, don't you think I mean, that's not right. The guy was working
I don't like what happened, but I just figure if we hired a temp accountant, which we've done before, and he shows up here to this nice, beautiful iHeart building, and all of a sudden he's living in the parking lot for 3 days, it could be an issue. It's a little weird.
I know.
I don't think Fuller's going to spend the day.
Jeremy is with Compass Insurance Group. Jeremy?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man, we got a question for you.
Yeah.
And special assessment coverage. Here's what happened. Diane was living in a condo insured by one insurance company, Farmers, when the storm happened. But the condo association did not vote a special assessment for some time later. And then she was insured by a second company. So the date of loss was under one company, but the date of the actual assessment was under a second company. So what do you think? The first company is saying, look, we insure you for special assessments, and there was no special assessment while you were insured with us, so go pound salt. And the second company is saying, what? Will they pay that special assessment?
That's still, it's not universal. Some companies go off a loss date, and some go off assessment date.
Oh, my gosh.
And so you can conceivably, they might both be right, because their policy language is not universal.
She could fall in the middle.
You have to be careful when you're switching in, condos, specifically HO6 policies. As long as you stay consistent, if you're with the company that goes off loss date, you switch to another one that goes loss date, you're not going to have a problem, or the other
right, I know.
Date. But each company has their own policy on that, and if you go from one to another, you can conceivably have a gap between the two.
She saved $200 a year for $8,000.
Yeah, now it's going to cost. Like. Well, we don't know yet. She didn't put it in yet. Diane, did you put in yet for the coverage on both of them, or just the other one?
I'm working on putting in the claim on the new insurance.
Okay, so I wouldn't even mention anything. I would simply put in the claim. Here's how I'd put it. I was just assessed an assessment. Here it is. And, don't say a word. See what happens.
Okay.
And then let us know. Jeremy, thank you very much. Compass Insurance, our experts at 303-996-9000. We got a lot more coming right up.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. With Ross Kaminsky mornings, Dan Kaplis afternoons at 4, KHOW, Denver.
From the Fox Business Network, all Wall Street stocks are higher in afternoon trading as energy and healthcare sectors are boosting the market today. And shares of Apple are slightly higher after yesterday's big star-studded event, with the tech giant announcing its new offerings, streaming video, gaming, news service, and credit card. However, D.R. Barton of Money Matt Press tells FBN's Stuart Varney he was not impressed.
I think actually the whole announcement was a bust, Stuart.
Really?
No, they gave us no numbers. We don't know what was going on. No clips of the content to entice us to come see the show. So I think they took a big high-level advertising pitch and missed.
Apple stock is up nearly 1% today, and Michelle Obama's memoir Becoming is becoming the most successful memoir in history. Its publisher Penguin Random House says nearly 10 million copies have been sold since its release in November. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
When weather hits, the right wiper blades make all the difference. That's when the Michelin Man is on your side, helping you see better and drive safer with new Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Designed with exclusive SmartFlex technology or frameless beam design, Michelin blades flex to the curve of your windshield, giving you unparalleled, streak-free, long-lasting, all-season performance. So when the going gets tough, be ready with Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. It's a difference you can see. Available at Walmart and other fine retailers.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Travel around town in pretty good shape right now. No new stalls or accidents being reported across the highways. Just a couple of minor bits of slowing here and there. Westbound 270 slow either side of Vasquez. Westbound I-70 stop and go in the elevated portion. That ramp northbound 225 to westbound I-70 a bit slow. And northbound I-25 downtown, either side of Colfax a bit slow. The rest of the drive is in fairly decent shape. Up in the high country, US 6 remains closed in Clear Creek Canyon once again for rockfall mitigation. The weather forecast going to be sunny today with a high near 70. Right now, mostly cloudy skies and 63 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
No one wants to be accused of a crime. It is a terrible thing. I hope you never need Joe Lazzara. Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney. Most of the cases, of course, he gets from my audience would be DUI, driving under the influence of either alcohol or pot. Here, or, you know, not just smoking, but edibles. Here's the deal. Joe Lazara will provide a defense. He's not going to preach to you, but it's so easy to avoid this with designated drivers or public transportation or Uber or Lyft. And even when you pull over to rest in your car, you can be popped for a DUI. Some people sleep overnight, get up in the morning, and still have a legal level of, or an illegal level of alcohol. So Joe Lazara is there. Of course, if you're accused of any crime, he has flat rate pricing. DUI, shoplifting, assault, whatever it is. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. LazaraLegal.com. 303-429-6200.
Only 4 days left until Carpet Mill Outlet Store's one-day private sale. This Saturday at Carpet Mill Outlet Stores, save up to 40% off MSRP store-wide. For a limited time, get 2 years interest-free financing. So whether it's carpet, hardwood, Cortec, tile, laminate, granite countertops, or area rugs, Carpet Mill Outlet Stores has the lowest prices guaranteed. You'll find value price options to fit every style and every budget. 12 locations, but the sale is one day only. This Saturday. Find out more at carpetmilloutletstores.com.
What do you think the most important thing is when you get your car repaired? You know, you would think it's skill, isn't it? But a lot of people believe that skill comes along with having an auto repair business. So the number one thing consumers look for is trust and honesty. And that's what you get at Pro Auto Care. Of course, you also get the skill. 2 locations, one in Littleton near Bowles and Santa Fe, and one in Denver near Evans and I-25. 303proauto.com for specific directions. They will do all of your maintenance, or you can go for a problem that you can't figure out. You get free diagnostics with no obligation. Let Pro Auto Care be your dealership alternative for auto service. Owner Al Aramis.
We will not void your warranty. In fact, our warranty is 3-year, 36,000 miles, and we accept most extended warranties.
Pro Auto Care. 303-PRO-AUTO. 303-PRO-AUTO. Or online at 303proauto.com.
About 40% of Americans carry a credit card balance, but excluding people with credit scores over 720, that number's more like 75%. Reports show that U.S. households pay an average of $1,200 a year in credit card interest. That is an astounding number. Thankfully, your untapped home equity is an easy way out of high-interest debt, and loan limits are at an all-time high, so you can use that equity to pay off debt, remodel your home, or build your savings account. Just call the salary-based mortgage consultants at American Financing. They'll guide you through the mortgage refinance process and never charge upfront fees, unlike other lenders who charge $500 just to qualify. Start now and learn how you can save up to $12,000 a year, and you may be able to postpone up to 2 months of mortgage payments. Call 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or apply online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate. Denver's Talk Station. Online at khow.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Well, you've heard probably Jussie Smollett was vindicated, right? All charges dropped, all 14 felonies dropped, and basically the Chicago Police Department owes him an apology. That's what people are saying. That's what his supporters are saying. Isn't that interesting? You can bet your ass they'll be talking about that today on Talk Radio. Marcia, what's going on in your life? Hello, Marcia.
Good afternoon, sir.
How can I help you?
Well, we received a couple of telephone calls last week. Hi, this is Officer Dale with a very, very, very thick accent. And we're calling to tell you that your Social Security account might be in jeopardy.
Yep.
So you've heard this.
Oh my God, we've had so many people call about it.
Okay.
No, but we want to hear. They're all a little different. We want to hear it.
That I needed to give them all my information so that they could make sure that my account was not jeopardized. And
Did they want you to make any kind of payment? Did they ask for any kind of payment?
No, because I said to him, if you're calling me, you must know my number.
Yeah.
And you must know by my account So you have all the information. So just start talking and tell me what you need me to do.
Okay.
So just wanted to tell you, Officer Dale was one of them. And they're all from Plano, Texas.
Now, do you have their number?
I do at home. Can I email it to you?
Oh, we'd love it. Yes, I would love to be able to call them, Marcia. We like to keep track of these people. Thank you for calling. Yet another scam, but we love calling them. So let's get that number from her. And Suzanne, keep an eye out for that number. Now, Jason is back. He says he has advice for that Granby caller who had a sewer backup as a result of substandard work, and she wants to sue the contractor. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, Tom, the contractor has a responsibility there, and another attorney can probably chime in on this. I'm not an attorney, but I do practice one on my own sometimes. The contractor is contracted by the state, the county, whoever, who do have some kind of an umbrella, judicial, quasi-judicial immunity. However, they're also required to inspect the work of the contractor to certify that it was done correctly and by code. And if they didn't do that, and they did negligently just let it sit there in the ground improperly installed, they do have responsibility.
They actually, they may or may not, but very seldom would a municipality be responsible. We've had several cases in the past where inspectors failed to do their jobs, and they never are held responsible. So I don't know what you're referring to. Do you have a case where this actually happened?
I've got a couple that I've been working on personally in some places that I've worked. I'm not doing the investigation, but I saw what happened.
Jason, listen, you may have heard of that, but John, have you ever heard of, because the contractor did work on the sewer or on a municipal project and the inspector did not inspect it, that the city's going to be responsible for it? I've never heard of that.
It's possible. Again, each of these cases you'd have to really go through the governmental immunity statute and see if one of the exceptions applies. But
what are the exceptions in most cases?
I still think ultimately the contractor is going to be on the hook, because the contractor almost certainly has a duty to indemnify the city for all of their actions. So I think it's going to come back to their bond or their insurance policy.
Yeah. I know that he is saying, well, they should have inspected it. That goes for everything. That goes for buildings and bridges and elevators. I mean, there are all kinds of inspection procedures. And I know in most of the codes that talk about the indemnity and this immunity, they actually mention inspectors. I mean, building inspectors are not going to be held responsible in most cases. I've never heard of them being held responsible. Herb, what's going on? You have a comment on that Walmart tow. They were working day labor and staying there, they were working the night shift and staying there, and they were towed or charged. What do you think?
Well, I think it's ridiculous for the tow truck driver. Here the people are, they don't have a lot of money. They're living in their car, and I think it's ridiculous. And I don't know if you can get a hold of the guy. I'll give him his $50 back. I think it's ridiculous.
I know.
To cheat the guy out of his money.
The poor guy. I mean, really, it does suck.
I mean, it's terrible. They're working, living in their car. They're trying to get by, and then somebody has to go steal $50 from them. Anyway, however we can work it out, I'll give him back his $50 and maybe help out the guy a little bit.
Wait, you will?
Yes.
That's very nice of you, Suzanne. Herb wants to help out the guy. Get his information. Hang on, Herb. That's very nice of you. Jim, what's going on with you, Jim?
Hey, Tom. I was the victim of a phishing scam last week. Somebody called posing as somebody from the online fraud department at First Bank. And
what did they... You say you were a victim. What did you give them?
Well, they told me I had several transactions that had happened in New York, asked me if those were mine. I said no. Then they asked me to verify the last 8 numbers of my debit card, and then they said, okay, and then what's your online username? Not your password. They asked me for my username.
Yeah.
And I was reluctant to give it to them, but I gave it to them anyway. And they ended up transferring $2,000 out of one of my accounts into another.
Uh-oh. How did they get your password, Jim? How did they get your password?
I don't know if they had hacked into my computer, if it was, who knows? There's passwords being compromised all the time.
Yeah, maybe they could have. I don't know, kind of, I'm thinking, how could they do this? Get your email. Did they have access to your email where they could have gotten a new password? Had your password been changed, do you know?
No, as far as I know, it had not been. First Bank actually caught it, the real First Bank people, and it had me change my username and password within a half an hour of this happening. They also made a Zelle payment to somebody out of that $2,000 they transferred.
Wow. Thanks for the warning, Jim. People never give information out over the phone, ever, ever, ever. What were you going to say, John?
Hey, Tom, let's talk about those exceptions to the governmental immunity. I think that's really important.
That is important because we've been talking about governmental immunity and when they can be, when they get away with not owing anything for any kind of problem they do.
So the starting point is they almost always deny liability, and then it's up to the plaintiff to prove that their claims fall within one of those exceptions. Okay, so just real briefly, the first one is operation of a motor vehicle. We've talked about that today. If they're driving a county vehicle or something and get in a wreck, they're going to be liable for it. They can't claim immunity for that. Operation of a public hospital, correctional facility, or jail kind of stands to reason. Dangerous condition of a public building. Dangerous condition of a public highway, road, or street.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. Dangerous condition, and this is maybe important in this case, a dangerous condition of any public hospital, jail, public facility located in a park, or a public water, gas, sanitation, electrical, power, or swimming facility. Okay?
Wow.
So understand that the word facility might be operative and apply to each of those other things. So a public water facility, a sanitation facility. So it may not cover the pipes in the road, but it may just cover the actual treatment plant or something. So this is how these statutes get manipulated to either find or defeat liability. And the final one is just the operation of a public water facility, gas facility, sanitation facility. Again, the same basic things. And then sometimes they amend them. Like, remember when they burned up half the mountain and all those homes up there in a prescribed burn? They came back and modified it and said, yeah, if we start the fire, we're going to be responsible for that as well. And they paid for all those people's houses.
Well, that's nice of them to do that. I mean, to amend it so it goes against them as opposed to the other way. We have more coming right up.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Other than the couple
unsafe streets and roads, and I'm just taking notes real quick without saying it all again. What were the major
motor vehicles operated by a public entity, public hospital, correctional facility, or jail,
hospitals and prisons.
Not prisons at state. Well, it would be still. Dangerous condition of any public building.
Public buildings.
Dangerous condition of a public highway, road, or street. Dangerous condition of any hospital, jail, public facility located.
Same as what we just said.
Located in a park or recreational area maintained by the public entity.
So basically, parks and park areas.
Right. Any public water facility, gas facility, sanitation facility, electrical facility.
Well, that's a lot of shit.
It is, but then the shit gets interpreted by the courts and.
Here's to progress.
Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a crazy deal. They will estimate your transmission by taking it out, opening it up, and giving you an exact estimate, but it will all be free of charge. Imagine that. If you think you're going to get it fixed, you're inclined to, and you're having some problems, and they think it's transmission related, they will take it apart and remove it free of charge and look at the whole thing. And if you decide to have the work done, they don't back charge you. If you take it somewhere else, they don't charge you. If you don't want to have the work done, they don't charge you. It's the best deal in the entire industry for Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. Why don't you just call them and find out more? 303-781-9858. They do general auto repair, but they are experts at transmissions. They have their own in-house machine shop and free estimates with the transmission removed and opened. 303-781-9858. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. 303-781-9858.
Well, I didn't realize that Avenatti gave those R. Kelly sex tapes to him and stuff. He was into everything. That is crazy.
There's more coming out too, according to Stormy.
What? Like what? Like she had sex with him? Or
no, I don't know, but They had a falling out. She didn't want to talk about it yesterday. She said there's more coming.
I seen that little thing there.
Right.
Just after she heard of all the bad things out of the night. So maybe he held something over her.
He definitely lied to her while he was stealing all that other guy's money and stuff, you know.
Century RV. That's the place to get all of the Cougars you want, new and used. They have the best selection of new Cougars anywhere, and we're talking travel trailers, of course. You dirty mind, I see you guys giggling. And you know what? Century RV has payments as low as $299 a month. The Class A's for $399 a month. They have interest rates as low as 2% or 1.99. You got to call for details, okay, on all of this. But they have new and used RVs. They have 2 locations, and one is in Lakewood and one is up north near Longmont. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. I didn't realize budget was 30. I did a 60.
And then gradually,
Sell those up there?
I saw your little dirty mind.
social.
I saw it.
You can just go buy them, or?
No use.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
How
much time do I have?
It really was like I was punishing myself.
We're coming right back.
Ah!
I said, why wouldn't you just try?
You pee like a racehorse, whatever the hell that means.
You've owned enough horses in your life to know what a racehorse is.
All of a sudden, it's like,
Apparently, racehorses pee a lot.
I just enjoy it.
it's strong
I don't think anyone who's doing themselves thought that I would
Yes, they do.
Carolyn made the switch.
There's nothing like a mule, though.
Really?
Oh. Our mule was unleashed one
You had a mule?
I had a couple of them.
How come?
We used to pack them for hunting and stuff.
Really? You had your own mule?
Yeah. I had 3 of them at one point.
That's crazy. You hunted a lot then. It was only been for like deer or elk or things like that, huh?
Yeah.
So you kept mules around for a whole one season?
I had a couple horses too. So yeah. We used to pack all the way up in the middle of the wilderness and stuff.
Does anyone believe that there's dirty dealings going on in Chicago for dropping that Jesse Smollett case? Man, a lot of people are saying that. Some kind of backroom deal. By the way, approvalreverse.com. Just please remember that website if you're looking at a reverse loan. Joan Sullivan and her team, they're good people. But they won't slam people into a reverse loan. In fact, they recommend it for those where it's appropriate. It is a great tool, by the way, to avoid lawsuits and creditors. It does. It puts a lien on your house even if you don't use the money. You can have a line of credit for emergencies, tie up your house's equity. It's a very good legal protection tool. 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528. Approvalreverse.com. Let's talk to Dean about governmental immunity. And I do have time. We're going to have time to take some more calls if you want to get right through at 303-713-TALK. Hi, Dean. What's happening?
Well, I don't know about Chicago politics, about the crooked nuts, but did you say that you've never heard of any government inspectors being held accountable?
No, I didn't say they're held accountable. I've never heard of them, of a city. No, not even that. Not being sued. Anybody can be sued for anything at any time. What I meant was I've never heard of cities or counties or municipalities paying, being responsible for damages as a result of an inspector or of failing to do his duty.
All right. About 10 years ago, back in 2000, 20 years ago, up in Aspen, there was a family. You may or may not remember this, but there was
carbon monoxide.
You got it.
I remember it. Yes.
You remember what happened to the county inspectors?
No, I don't.
They got named in a lawsuit, and Aspen, Pitkin County, they had to raise the money to defend their inspectors.
Now, I don't remember the case. I mean, I didn't even know there was. But tell me what was what did they allege that the inspectors failed to do?
It's so lengthy. I can send you the complaint.
I mean, I'll believe you. Just tell me was this furnace recently installed?
It was a snow melt system. And some people had won a free trip up there through the church. They went up there, the snow melt came on, the exhaust flue didn't have screws in it, it wasn't set up, and so it was just exhausting into the house.
And what?
And Pitkin County inspectors had signed off at this.
Oh, I see. Okay. And so they settled this case?
Yeah, it was a Denver District Court case. Like I said, it was back.
Do you remember that, John? Do you remember that case years ago?
I don't think it was 20. I think it was more recent, like only just 5 or 6 years ago, wasn't it?
No.
There was one.
No, it was filed August 11th in 2010.
Okay.
And the submitted by Tony Cruz, McDermott, Hansen, and McLaughlin.
Now, why are you so up on that case? Why did it stick in your memory?
I pay attention to a lot of cases.
What's that?
I pay attention to a lot of cases.
I'm just curious. Why?
I'm fascinated with it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've been involved in a few myself. I think the law is fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And that's why a lot of people get involved with it. I mean, John Fuller, you find the law fascinating, right? I mean, why did you choose why'd you choose, John, the personal injury sector?
Well, I enjoy helping people. You know, I just constantly see people getting taken advantage of by the system, and I don't think that's right. And people need a voice out there fighting for them. But it never stops changing. That's the interesting thing about it. Just when you think you've got your finger on the pulse of everything, another case comes down, and you're going in a completely opposite direction.
Also, I think that it's a good part of law because if you think you have a good case, people don't have to worry about legal fees. That's the one area, because most people have the mistaken impression that they can find an attorney on contingency for anything. And you always hear on the show, they'll say, I can't find an attorney, or I can't seem to find an attorney. What they really mean is they can't find an attorney who will do it free or on contingency.
Yeah, that's exactly
really,
right.
Other than workers' comp, personal injury, that kind of stuff. What else is there that does? I don't know of any that do contingencies. I think that some consumer law cases where the statute calls for attorney's fees, they might do it if they think they have a good case.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not familiar with those areas of the law, but it's the only way that our clients can seek justice. Nobody has the money to front load a case like that, and frankly, it's not an easy line of work to get into. I mean, I have cases where I have to be able to front load the firm's expenses for several years, sometimes 3 and 4 and 5 years before we resolve a case. So they're very complicated. They go on a long time. We're in every sense of the word on a team with our clients to
don't you
to work
think
together.
I think a mistake I hear when people sign up and then they're disappointed after they sign up. I don't think they shop around, and I think they should. Don't you?
Yeah, I can't. You need to be comfortable with the person that you're hiring. Okay,
yeah.
That's your primary goal. You need to be able to communicate with that person and feel like you're on the same page.
I think, anyway, John Fuller is the guy for me. 303-597-4500. We've actually used him here in the office several times. 303-597-4500. Don't forget, save all your problems for me. BecomeTheBanker.info is the website to see a video that I made about this investment. So many people have questions. I believe this video answers every single question. It's about cash value growing tax-free.